Ringside Rants. We are late as hell, and it's my fault tonight because I had to go take a deuce in the dump truck. Um,
TMI.
I am Mike. That is Jordan. That is Josh. That is Sleepy Phil. And I got. Hold on. This is not right.
I know it's getting ready to happen. Yep.
Yeah. Jordan's like, damn it. No, it's good.
Well, I kind of like my normal spot, to be honest with you. I know where I'm at. It's kind of like I'm like Rambo in the second movie. At least I know what side I'm on.
Yeah, at least you know what side you're on. I was like, wait a minute, this don't look right. But here we are tonight talking about the end of the New Japan Cup semi or quarterfinals. I'm sorry, and we also had to talk about the OVW situation, how unprofessional it was, and what they're trying to do to rectify it. Everybody's claiming or clamoring for those wrestlers' jobs and him to sue that company and to sue Al Snow. And Al Snow put out a ridiculous I'm sorry report from OVW all across social media. In my personal opinion, Al Snow should have done more. He instead of just writing a letter, he should have did it live. I'm sorry. That's more heartfelt, more meaningful than just a typed out letter saying, "Hell, I'm sorry."
This is where we're starting.
Yeah, this is exactly
Okay.
what we're starting.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I know other people might disagree with me, but my opinion is if you're doing that and you're going about it that way, then my then oh, sorry about that, gentlemen. I forgot to do this earlier. That's on me. Hello, country. How are you, my brother?
What's going on, dude?
Well, before
Butler.
we go into more depth, when we start from the beginning of what is going on with OVW first, what the situation is, before we jump into like the end of the story, we start from the beginning.
Okay,
Okay.
that sounds good, Josh. Why don't you do it?
You're this is you know more than I do. I don't got I don't got no.
Okay, Mike, you want to set it up?
Yeah. Okay. So what happened was at the end of the main event, I'm not going to give any of the wrestlers' name. I don't think they deserve credit for what happened in the middle of the ring. I'm not even going to discuss who the wrestlers were. I am going to talk about the referee Dallas. I'm not going to give out his last name because I don't feel like it's personal enough for me to do that. And he is in good spirits, and he's hoping to return back to the OVW family, and that's something he wants to do. Congrats to him. I don't think he should sue OVW. No, I don't think he should go for their jobs, and that's my personal opinion on that. But we'll get to that in a minute. But the whole situation was the guy jumped off the top rope, and the other guy pulled the referee in. And when he did that, the guy clambered on top of him, and when he hit him, he fell straight to the ground and and his neck twitched, and he started having a medical condition right then and there. And you can tell the kid wasn't moving. He's probably barely out of high school. I'll say maybe 21, 22 at the latest, or the oldest. Um, I don't think he was ready to take that crossbody from the top rope. I think it was unplanned, or it was planned, and he just forgot about the spot, which could happen. And when the guy landed on him, he immediately looked down and said, "Oh no!" And then the guy was continuing on wrestling with him, and he was like, "Dude, like," and he immediately ran out of the ring and went and grabbed, and like you could see him go this way with it. The other wrestler just picks him up and kicks him out of the way, and then continued on his little spiel, and then he finally sat back over in the
All right,
corner.
that's a horrible recount, dude. That's a horrible recount. Let's let me see if I can explain this. All right, we had a one-on-one match. All right, we have two guys of a decent size going at it. We have a referee. There's this planned spot where your boy goes to the top rope, and it's like he's gonna hit the wrestler, and the ref takes the bump. All right. Now I don't know if this was
Mhm.
supposed to be a crossbody or a forearm, like an AJ Phenomenal forearm. I don't know if it was changed mid-move. Obviously, the ref knew it was coming. The wrestler completely fucked up, and I don't know if the ref was supposed to move a hair. He hit him hard way. He hit this ref hard way, and this ref goes down. The minute it happens, the guy who did the move looks down. He stops. He looks down and he realizes he hit him for real. All right, the guy's not moving for a few seconds. Then all of a sudden, he goes into it. Your boy leaves and goes back to carry on the match. He goes into a violent ass seizure, one of the worst I've ever seen. Cornette said the same thing, one of the worst you could see. And when you see somebody's fingers doing the exorcist, and you got this going on with arms and legs, and a guy's on the ground, that should be enough to tell you, all right, they're selling it in there. So when his arm went straight in the air while he was laying down, the man's arm went straight in the air like this, and he's on the ground. Someone in the anyway, I'll get into that. But so then where Mike was at, the other wrestler comes across. I guess he figured the ref was selling. He drags your boy arm and leg, and then back kicks him mule style to get him out the way to continue the match. Finally, the guy who did the move and hit the ref tells him. He's like, you could tell. He tells him. He's like, dude, no, no, no. And they both stop, and they both don't know what to do. They freeze. One guy goes sit in the corner, the other guy's on the ropes. Eventually, the face guy that hit the ref crawls over, but the camera pans over where you can't see the wrestler anymore. The ref.
Yeah.
The commentary finally catches on, and it's like this went on for forever. The commentary finally catches the fuck on, and they're just
before they do though, Jordan. This is where it fucked up right here. Whenever you see the guy in convulsions and everything and in a seizure, the commentary says, "Oh my God, Dallas is having a bad night tonight."
Yeah, they and after it happened, they did not know what to say. Everyone was lost. The commentary did not. Oh, we're not even finished the story. The camera's still over. Your boy, there's a bunch of people you could tell are on the ground talking to the ref, but you can't see them. People are running down ringside. The fans caught on something was wrong more than the in-ring talent. Yeah. And then the commentary freezes. The main play-by-play guy's like, "Oh, this is serious. This is not part of the show. We're just going to end it right here." They showed him. He doesn't handle it very well. All the other two don't know what to say. They just dry in the show. This is the same thing we were talking about last night about the Statlander promo. It all comes from the top. This is on the management. The guy who was supposed to be in the back checking on this match. Yeah, the ref's down and the ref communicates. Where's your backstage guy? The people in the truck knew to turn the camera after. I mean, this all comes from management. Somebody was supposed, if Al Snow was sitting in a gorilla or lack thereof, if he's running the show, he should have said, "You do this." He should have directly communicated to commentary, at least. This was handled poor as fuck. Not well at all. Yeah, yes, we hope the referee makes a full comeback. This also goes to having people in a ring that don't belong in a ring and are not trained properly to do bigger stunts and moves. Yeah, just because you see it online, you don't go in your backyard. This is all down to management who's at the top and having talent in a ring and someone said, "Oh, we're going to have ref training classes." Okay, that's great. How about wrestling training classes? How did these two guys in a ring not be able to look in that man's eyes and tell he was out of it? How did they not?
Or where's the medical? Usually, they're supposed to have a guy at ringside or something like that.
Zero of that. Nothing. Yeah, great point, Josh. And I'm sure OVW, if they have a future, it's going to be mandatory to have medical on site now. But they did not. They did not have this at all. Which, when we get into the GCW, I will give them credit. They had a man right there the second your boy went splat, right there to go. That wasn't supposed to be involved to check on him. So I will give GCW that. They at least had somebody there for emergency. So this was ridiculous that OVW did something, and the level that OVW is supposed to be on. That's ridiculous that this happened. I will get into the written apology and all of that after, but let's just talk about it for now. This was ridiculous, and there's no way you're supposed to be a professional in the ring, a veteran. If you're green, you should have a veteran in there with you if you're green. You don't have two greenhorns in it. This was stupid. Doesn't matter whose fault it was, whether if the ref was supposed to take it differently, you didn't have the ref ready properly, and if the guy jumping off the rope altered his shit, then he was wrong. This was just wrong all around, but it goes to the top. The people that put them in the ring, allowed him in the ring, and did not have everybody trained properly to do a high spot. And all this was an off the top rope that turned into a bad hit on a ref, which knocked him out and it put the man into straight seizure on live television. And
Well, the brain-
OVW is played on TV in certain areas. This is not just an online or you buy subscriptions. So yeah, OVW's in heat.
Well, this right here was on one of their pay-per-views, and it was during the main event.
When did this happen?
This happened Friday night.
This happened Friday? Oh, jeez.
Hello. Hello, Monica.
Hi, babe.
And Saturday night at the New Japan show, me and Jordan stayed awake for it. Walker even wanted to send his heartfelt, wishes to Dallas to get better. Dude, that was really, really cool.
Yeah, well, Walker them they don't have. New Japan will bring up news in other companies and wish people well. They do not have this. You can't talk about the other guy rule. So they will mention WWE, WWF, AEW before the partnership. They will mention people getting hurt. Send best wishes. You can do that in New Japan because one, New Japan don't claim to be competition, and two, they're not really against anybody. And they're not trying to be sports entertainment. That's the advantage of New Japan.
Jordan, Andy has a question for you. Is there a way to bury a talent without squashing them?
Yes, it's called catering. Yeah,
pretty much.
WWE's and for Tony Khan it's called in WWE it's called catering, and for Tony Khan it's called letting your contract expire.
Or what they call
ask Russo.
They call it Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
That's the Street Profits right now.
Ask what's his name from over that left and went up there from Louisiana that
Ricky Saints.
Yeah, ask Ricky Saints about his final AEW days. Yeah, Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay.
Speaking of, we can talk about that in a little while. Johnny Nitro, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Thunder, Johnny Raw, whatever he is, mentioned Guantanamo Bay and that he is not happy. And he mentioned that they have a nickname for it backstage in AEW when you're in catering and not used.
But his wife is happy where she's at, but he's not.
Yeah. Because there's no TV, Tony Khan pushes he wants to. Anyway, if we want to finish with the story, do we want to get into
finish with the story? Yep, don't do a fill. No filling.
Well, that's why I like to tie shit up. We have a written apology from Al Snow, and we have a bunch of people online telling people how things should be done. So where we want to start at here? We want to start with the apology, or
well, how did you feel about that apology, man?
He worked as a piece of paper. As a written statement, it was perfect. As it pertaining to what has happened, not good enough. So was it worded beautifully? Would it have passed college A+ grade? Sure. Did it sound remorseful? Yes. I did not care about the more ring referee training versus wrestling training. A lot of people mention that. They're like, dude, what? And I think Amanda Huber needs to shut her damn mouth. She's the last person that could come in and say none of those people should be on TV when her husband's faction did an injury in the Dark Order to people and fuck shit up on. So technically, like your boy said, no, all those AEW people should be pulled as well by Amanda Hubert's words. That was pretty dumb of her to jump in.
Wow.
Yeah. That was very dumb of her to come in and say, all those people should be pulled. They're not professional. Yeah, but your husband's group hardway injured somebody back in the early days of by doing a dumb stunt.
Who they injured?
Huh?
Who they injured?
You'd have to go not to do it, not the Jeff Hardy thing when he fell off the thing, but you have to go back to the early days. Say it, Phil.
Sammy Guevara injured Jeff Hardy.
That was Matt Hardy.
Yeah, but that wasn't. It was
and
not
Matt
that.
Hardy,
It was in the Dark Order. Some of the Dark Order goons did a spot, and it was done back. You have to go way back. I forget. It was around the time I was watching, and it was mentioned. It was mentioned that by her own admission, half of her people should be taken off of TV by her rules. So that was very dumb of her to jump in and be blind or by going. She pulled a Meltzer pretty much. You can't just call one side and not call the other side. So I thought that was very dumb of her that had no right to say that when the company she's involved in has done things like this, as well as the Sammy Guevara Matt Hardy damn near cracking his skull open on the pave and all of that. I mean, no, you have no room to talk.
And
Dark
also,
Order.
let's see, he also injured Jeff Hardy as well after that.
Hold
Yeah,
on, I'm
but,
reading about the Dark Order thing. Hold on.
and then when you look for it, you got to make sure it's not the thing where they threw the horrible punches and that led to Omega, the Bucks, and Hangman all being pulled from their roles in the company, and Tony Khan took complete control after that, because that's when Tony Khan removed them from their power. When the
Well,
Dark Order,
where one of the goons was like fake punching
yeah,
Dustin. You could clearly see it.
yeah, that
Dustin
Omega and
Rhodes,
all of them got the
the,
heat
the
for that.
the Dustin Rhodes thing.
That
Yeah.
was not this though. That's another. I was saying that when you look up Dark Order, that's going to come up the most. But they did do some kind of high end spot where someone got injured. I don't remember what it was and the time period, but that did happen. So her of all people, with her husband leading that faction,
High end spot. Usually, none of them are high flyers though.
there was some spot that happened. I forget what it was, but somebody in there did some kind of high end spot and somebody got hurt. And it was like you're the last person to go tell another company they're not safe when you're not the company you're aligned with, the faction your husband led pulled shit. You're saying they should be off of TV as well if those two guys in the ref should be off TV.
I looked for it. I didn't see anything about that.
All right. Well, the main thing is the ref. Everybody wishes him well. He's in good spirits. Everybody's wishing him a great recovery. You know, it sucks to be him that this happened to him, but this is back to my topic of last night. You got to look at who's above, who puts the talent in the ring, who says they're ready, who approves spots. This goes to the top. This goes to the talent management or the match, the booker or the agent for the match. This falls on whoever's fault that is, and whether it's him or it's not, this does fall on Al Snow for it being this. He's the president of this thing. Everything's got he's the main man, so this does fall on Al Snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yes, it could happen to anybody anywhere, but you don't see AJ Styles, even if he slips on a ring, you don't see AJ Styles hurt people. You know why? Because he's a pro veteran that has done high spots and jumps for forever. AJ's a pro, not a nobody. A+ player again. Here we go again. You don't see these other guys doing these spots that I might miss, or 50% of the time I miss. If you're gonna do it, you let somebody that knows how to. Yeah, but that's set up, Mike. That's a comedy. That's comedy. And we know when he does the move, he lands on the soft shoulder not to get hurt. And when he misses, he lands on a flat ring and doesn't get hurt. He takes up. So we know it's comedy. And poor Hanma, if he took it for real, he probably would take two and he'd be gone. Poor Hanma. So yeah.
Great guy though. Great. He's in great physical condition. He just don't have the go no more, man.
The injury
His
messed.
voice, man. You know the reason why his voice is so. Because he got kicked in the Adam's. I think he got kicked in the Adam's apple about back in the 2000s, if I'm correct.
Larynx busted his larynx, crushed.
His larynx got crushed. I don't know. I heard it was a top rope or a rope incident where he hit the rope bag and it crushed his larynx. But and today you could tell in his legs, his movements going. You could tell he's stiffer with the knees and legs. I'm worried about that with Ishii before this injury Ishii got and when he comes back. But yeah, poor Hanma's holding on by a thread. His retirement can't be far. I mean, he's struggling to walk.
Great guy.
And you could tell he puts over everybody. He knows his role. I mean, there's someone in the group said something. I said they were like, just don't know when to quit. I said he's got to be grateful for the time he was able to come back in a ring in the 20 teens, or no, what we are now, the 20 ops.
Yeah, the 2020s.
But no, since 2020 he came back, and he should be grateful for this 4 or 5 year, almost 6 year run he's been given, because he was never supposed to be able to be in a ring again. So, but there's times where even if you need money, you gotta call it, man. You gotta, and he's not doing anything dangerous to hurt anybody. He doesn't lift anybody up for big suplexes. He did one suplex, but he's not dropped people on their heads or hurting them or doing crazy moves. But he just can't move anymore. The poor guy's shot.
Great physical condition, though, man. Great.
At that age to be built like that, yeah. But he's not trying to take anybody's spot. The dude knows his level. He knows he's down there. He's a utility player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But going back to the OVW situation, in my opinion, I think he should have did at least a live apology, some type of apology where you can see his face and show his remorse instead of sending out a piece of paper. Hell, I could have wrote a piece of paper. Jordan, you could have wrote a piece of paper.
Well,
You could too.
you do need to make an official statement on paper. I think he should have done both, Mike. I think he could have come out and done a heartfelt apology. It's harder to do, but he could as the face man, as the top guy. But the written statement did need to happen. You have to
Oh, yeah,
do
100%.
but here's what I don't like. You have to do a written statement when you're afraid you could be sued and legal. This is almost like they're trying to cover their ass if he does sue. You know, if you listen to some of the words he used in there, it was very liable, not very much. So I feel like I'm gotta put out a statement and make it look good and be heartfelt, but I gotta cover the company's ass and my own ass as well. And if I'm gonna point a finger at Al Snow, we lost Phil.
We lost Phil.
If I'm gonna point a finger at Al Snow, it's gonna be that he badmouthed and pointed the finger at AEW. All right, dude, you have no room to talk about somebody else when you're doing this kind of stuff. If you would be pro level, okay, not when you just committed this. You need to take back everything you pointed and said about AEW, buddy.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if you caught that, Phil, but I said that if I'm going to point the finger at Al Snow for anything, it's the criticism he did towards AEW online and for this very thing that just happened. And I think he's wrong for that, and that he should take back what he said about AEW because he thought his company was high and mighty. Well, look what you just did. So, in my opinion, Al Snow needs to eat his words on what he pointing the finger and telling AEW or anybody else what to do when he can't get OVW straight. We just watched a referee have a live seizure in a match where action, due to bad action, a bad spot, and wrestlers not knowing what to do, and Al Snow did not run down to that ring to fix anything.
Mm-hmm.
and to be honest, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better in OVW.
I think the one positive is you're going to see a regular medical staff now.
That was just unprofessional, you know. Even like I know you guys don't like JD, but
he's breaking up. Phil, you gotta have to move your router or something.
Fired.
We couldn't hear you, Phil. You're frozen, and we heard every other word. I think you're back. No.
Testes.
Phil, you're gonna have to buy a router extender or something.
Kill that pig, man. Eat that pig. Get a new pig.
We heard Phil yawn or sigh. That was it.
No, what I said
But
was no, guys. What I said was like I think what JD said was like everyone in that ring should be fired. And yeah, Al Snow, you know, did talk shit about AEW, about their safety. And you know what? Look what happened to them.
Yeah.
It's worse.
Yeah. Al Snow cannot point. Al Snow can't point fingers at anybody when you're doing that kind of. It makes him look like a dumbass for criticizing AEW.
Yeah.
It makes him look really bad because you just did a worse. You had a referee convulsing with seizures in the middle of your ring because you had a planned spot that went, and all it was off the top rope, like not even off the top of the building. Or y'all couldn't get that right. Don't put people in those spots if they can't get it right. If the ref was too new and didn't know exactly what to do, shame on you for either not training him right or don't put him in the spot.
I know AEW is known for their. I know AEW is known for their injuries and everything, but at least they make sure everyone's okay. What they did, the X. The ref put up the X.
I'm gonna trust a Matt or Jeff Hardy in a high spot who's been there before in their lives than a nobody. A young guy that I'm gonna trust somebody I've seen do it right, and if they fuck up, they fucked up, but they're the pro. I'm gonna trust those guys before some Joe Bro.
Would you trust Will Ospreay?
Yes. Fuck yeah, I would trust any. What I'm saying is the majority of the AEW guys doing these spots, I would trust way more than Mr. Nobody over there in OVW. That they shouldn't have done a spot like that if you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sammy had a bad one where he hit your boy in the face with the knee off his spin. Maybe I'd have been like, hey, Sammy, you get somebody else to take that because I don't like the spin on that move. But I would trust Sammy before nobody. Yeah. So Al Snow is trying to cover his ass legally right here. I'm sure he's legitimately sorry. And we're all sorry when we do things wrong. But yeah, that letter was half written apology, half cover our ass in case he sues. And if you go read it technically, he's got some things worded where you could tell it's done for and yeah, they want that video taken down because that's pure evidence. If your boy decides to sue, that video puts them completely at fault.
Oh, 100%.
He could completely cash in if he decides to. Now there goes Josh.
Josh, you there?
The fuck's going on here? Everybody's internet's being wigging out here. Everybody's internet's botching tonight.
Dude, it's supposed to be St. Patty's Day. Look at the Irish. They're not wearing green, Jordan. You better start wearing green, dude.
I got green behind me, and I'm not Irish. I have no Irish descent. I have a lot of world heritage and culture. I do not have anybody. I have no Russian, no Asian, and no Irish to my knowledge. Or maybe a 1% somebody far down married somebody or banged somebody. That's it. Just about every other race on this planet, you can tie to me in some way. But those are the three I have zero ties to.
Welcome back, Josh.
Yeah, now it's kicking me off.
Yeah, we just said that the chat is botching, like OVW. The internet's botching. Hey, slide me over with Phil. Thank you. I feel more comfortable on the mic.
Believe it or not, Josh, believe it or not, St. Patty's Day, you're not wearing no green.
He's not Irish either. He's Spanish or Mexican, whatever you want to call him.
No, I'm actually Irish. I am.
Oh, okay. That's where the whiteness.
I got Irish blood.
That's where the whiteness comes from.
Yep, that's why you don't speak no Spanish. That's why you don't speak Spanish.
I was just explaining I have no Irish in my. I have a lot of different heritage. I don't have Russian, Irish, or Asian. I have African American.
Man. I think you got a little Filipino in you.
I actually have some. I actually do have some like Eurasian in me, like some very little Asian in me. I also have some
Uranus. Did he say Uranus?
No, I said Eurasian.
No, I got French, Spanish, all of that. Freaking both Spanish, like Italian and Mexican. I have African American slight. I got all of that. Everything but the three I named. Nova Scotia.
Dang, you're a mutt. Damn, I thought I was a mutt. Jesus Christ.
This bitch right here needs to eat Alpo for dinner.
What do we call Lord Pants in Spanish? Lord Pantalones.
All I know is with on my mom's side, it's English Irish, and on my dad's side, it's Native Indians, Native Americans.
Yeah.
Native Americans, Spaniard, and just a tad bit of French. Because I come from like a country that's like in between Spain and France, and that's where they did the village raiding parties in between. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I got more my dad's side's almost all the way German.
I have Scottish,
it's like
German, Irish, English.
I'm English, Irish, German,
and also
I'm Portuguese.
I also have some Swedish in me too.
You probably got some kind of German in your Phil, because so much of Germany came to the coast.
I had Porch Indian in me.
I'm Cherokee Indian.
I don't know if I have Native in me.
And I got part Choctaw, but yeah, I got Indian from mom's side.
I have Italian in me too.
Porch is Porch.
The Spanish and
thing is, guys, I wasn't even born. Well, I don't know about my mother's side of the family, but my dad's side of the family, they weren't born. They weren't from the coast. They're from the Delta.
I know from whatever DNA testing I did, whatever the Native American I am, it's like mostly around basically around the Texas Mexico border is where that region I'm from.
Shit, you might be an ancient Aztec, bro. No.
That's the warrior, Holmes.
That's right.
That's cool.
So, Josh, you're an Aztec warrior.
My
So- no, I-
my great grandmother was Cherokee princess of the tribe.
But no, I'm from. I'm actually am from this country, man. Y'all get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, my mom's mom was porch Indian. My mom called us porch monkeys. I was like, that's not that we can't do that.
Yeah, I'm a lesbian and a black
Views
man
and
trapped in a white
opinions.
man's body. I'm a lesbian and a black man trapped in a white man's body, and y'all can tell by the women I like.
But yeah,
one of my exes was like she was a white girl. She was like I was like I'm a black woman incognito.
black women incognito. I am with a woman of awesome standards.
How many languages you speak, Smite?
4 or 5.
Damn.
It's German, Spanish, English, German, Spanish, English, French, Italian. Oh, and Portuguese. So 6.
All right. There we go. We got one piece of wrestling news done, and we talked about what would we say? What do you call it? Not genetics, but not heritage, but
DNA.
yeah, we
DNA
had
is like
a slight DNA history chat going on here for a minute.
You know the
but I am Irish. But I am part Irish, so I can actually celebrate St. Patty's Day and Cinco de Mayo.
I had a green beer today.
What, Miller Lite with food dye? That's all it is.
No, it was a Fairhope beer. It was a sour. It was a caramel salted apple, and it tasted so good.
Bet you had another one?
No, I had a kaleidoscope afterward.
I hate sour apple.
Kaleidoscope. Yeah. Someone stuck their finger in your ass?
Salted caramel apple. It tastes like a it tastes like a what the hell? You ever been to the fair and they get them candy apples and there's also the ones that's dipped in caramel and they're green?
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like.
Okay.
I had a vape like that, and it was like rot gut.
Cinco de Mayo is a big.
All right.
I know that's true.
All right.
It's supposed to be September when the actual Mexican Independence Day is.
Hey, Monica, don't tell the people that Cinco de Drinko is a good excuse. It's a great excuse to celebrate and to get drunk.
Yes. Cinco de Mayo is a fake holiday.
Cinco de Drinko.
Technically, yeah, actually, yeah. It's only in America that we celebrate. They don't celebrate in Mexico. They actually really don't.
Mm-mm.
It's only like maybe like a small portion. I think what it is that we drove off the French from Mexico or some shit like that. I think that's the story. I think that's the thing.
Mexican Independence Day.
I bet it was
that's Mexican. Yeah, that's Mexican. That's Mexican Independence Day. No, I'm talking about Cinco de Mayo. Is just like we drove off the French off of Mexico, and it's only like maybe like only a small part that actually celebrates it. And really, it's all it's just America. I don't know, famously. Adapted it as a holiday. So I might be way off on that. Monica, like, I don't know if you probably can.
She's commenting down there. She says nobody celebrates the Battle of, I guess that's called Puebla.
Puebla,
The Battle of
Mexico.
Puebla.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. It was like a small battle with the French, and we kicked them out, and then
Probably a battle.
Somewhere out of nowhere during the 90s, we celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
Probably battle over gold, if I had to guess.
More likely, yeah.
Probably a fight over gold. Usually, when the French or the Italians would come over, it was to do with gold. Conquest, and usually to do with value or gold.
Pretty much.
Usually.
Speaking of Mexico, so we could segue into this.
Well, where you want to jump? Because we still have the GCW incident.
Oh, there's a GCW incident. Damn.
Yes, happened
When
this
don't they
weekend.
have an incident?
We had two guys. I don't know who they were. I watched the video. It was in a gym, and they're on one of those beside the building, like you always see.
Scott,
And they had light tubes and tables set up to fall through this ghetto rigged wooden built crap they had right there. And he goes to throw the dude off. The dude does a front flip down to fall through it. He misses everything, hits one light tube, splat on the concrete back and ass first, and doesn't get up. And the trainer or whoever he was, he immediately runs to him. You never see him get up. Splat to the concrete. Another
are you
same.
sure it was GCW and not Horror Slam or not?
No, it was GCW. They did this, and this was yet again same story as we just said. People that should not be doing these spots, badly rigged, poorly built. At least they had a guy there as soon as it happened to get to cover your boy, get by his face, talk to him. At least I will give GCW that, but there's no way this guy's not gonna have back trouble, especially if that ain't his first one.
He's gonna have anus problems.
Bruh, straight to the concrete. Straight splat. Nothing to break his fall.
Yeah, that's the messed up ones.
Well, Brody
Yeah.
King and Swerve did that in Revolution.
From about one level up.
Yeah.
And he hit straight on the concrete. No padding.
No, Swerve pulled all the. It was a burger breaker onto the concrete against Brody King.
All right, so you still had another man to work with and some to take the force. This dude went through one light tube and went splat straight down on the pave.
Well, Big Grimes did that in the middle of the ring.
Yeah,
He bounced around a paintball ball.
he actually landed on that top rope, which saved his ass. New Jack was trying to throw him through. That was also an attempted murder. Let's be different there, but that was from a scalpel, 25 feet in the air, and he tried to put him on the corner of the ring post to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
After the tased, which New Jack tased the man, so he still couldn't move right.
It was like,
He caught him
I remember he tased him. It's like, hey, I can't feel my legs. You're not gonna eat him. Woo!
Yeah.
So like, I don't give a shit. I tried to kill him.
Yeah, exactly what he said. I tried to kill that.
Yeah, that's what he said. But that's a different story. That's this is on the metal grating on the side, just like the dude that tried to press through the table in a gym. It looked like the same gym almost. White building with the red post. You're walking on the girder on the side on the wall, and you jump off one level up. Ridiculous. Like don't do the shit. That's just stupid. Come out of a balcony, or like do it in a. Don't try to create shit in a place that's not there. That's not, people would cheer. People would cheer. Hey, 5 people were yelling, "Holy shit, wonderful! You may never walk again, but yay."
But in CZW back in the day, Cage of Death 8, Nick Gage, Lufisto, Lobo, and Zandig were all in the match.
Would one of y'all please tell the jackass texting in the group that we're live?
Oh, he's fine. He'll quit eventually. It's just Dev. It's just Big Dev. That's all. He'll quit.
Tell him to get on the fucking YouTube at least and text us.
He'll be like, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah.
He only watches WWE, so
yeah, he don't care. But anyway,
He does
Cage of
watch
Death 8.
AEW sometimes.
Anyway, Cage of Death 8, when all these guys were wrestling, there was a spot where the ring is, and they built the cage around the ring. So, it's all wood around it. And there's a spot from the top of the cage. Zandig, Lobo, both landed through they broke the wood ring around the wooden part, and they hit the concrete floor. And they didn't move for several minutes.
I'm sure. Besides, the first thing it does is knock the wind out of you while you feel shots going through your body in pain.
And then when they climbed out of this hole they made by Lufisto and Nick Gage, Lobo immediately gets pinned for the loss.
That means he couldn't go anymore. That's why he took the pin. They were done. Stick a fork in him. He was done.
It was a good match. I liked it. Zandig is the one who ended up losing later
Anybody
on.
want a little tease for tonight? Yeah, we're gonna give y'all an audio of one of the things I'm gonna show tonight. You ready?
Sure.
The hell?
That's a tease of one of the things we're gonna show at the end of the show. We have interesting items to show tonight.
So
Yeah, I got some junk too. So
I have a thing. Oh man, I don't have it here. I went to Dad's today to get a couple of those records, and I left them there. Guess what I found in one of those stashes?
what?
What did you find,
Black
Mike?
Sabbath Paranoid.
Ooh, nice.
Was it a single 45 or the full LP?
It was a single 45.
What's on the other side of that?
Iron Man.
Back in the day when you got killer singles that had like double, like Zeppelin did that too. You got good tracks on both sides.
And it's made by Electrolux, and it's still in the it's in a gold Electrolux sleeve.
Did you look at the center? Does it have the vertigo swirl?
It does not. It has the Electrolux symbol.
All right. Well, it's not that. If you'd have had that, you're talking about money. Chad
Well,
just
this
sold
right
one
here is
here.
probably more rare than the Vertigo.
Well, the Vertigo were the first pressings. That was the UK before the US. Probably what you have is the US, but it would still be valuable what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to. You know what? When we're done with this, we might go look see if anybody has one of those up for sale. We're gonna do some price comparison tonight, Mike.
Okay, I'm down with that. Because I mean, dude, I just looked and there's a couple Billy Joel album or singles, and then there was what else did I see? The Elton John single. What else did I see? A Blondie single. Heart, Sticks, Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, some good jukeboxes, shit, man.
Well,
Yeah,
that so far that tells me the most modern or artists that were active in the time. If he has Blondie, this was at least very late 70s, early 80s.
It was. It goes all the way to 85, man.
They got because Styx and Hart were still making albums at the time. Because Hart had a whole 80s.
When did Bon Jovi come out?
Billy Joel got big in the 80s.
Yeah, but when did Bon Jovi come out?
Bon Jovi's first album was 1987, Slippery When Wet.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So it's up to 87 because there are a couple Bon Jovi records in there too.
Hey, that's if you got anything past that, Mike, you're getting into the beginning of the rare era of vinyl. So you're talking money. If you get into 89, you get ready. You look at anything 89 and after, you're looking at money.
Well, I mean, you gotta admit though, man. Well, here we are talking about records and stuff.
Yeah, but we love records is good. Records is where's Dan? What Teeth to Dan Housen is record stuff.
Yeah.
Records, CDs, tapes.
Look what I got. Look what I found.
What you got?
Burzum? No, Balthury.
Bathory.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, George, you missed it, man. They had a Down 3 album.
Oh yeah.
But it was only pressed in Germany or something like that. It was Over the Under or something like that.
Yeah, that's number 3.
Yeah, they had that go up for auction tonight.
So it was technically a bootleg. What did it sell for, Josh?
About $200.
Oh, I'm not paying that for Down 3. If it was 2, yes.
Yeah, I would get 2.
I know this is the band Leviathan.
Okay. You could have waited till the end of the show to show this, Phil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
I got a salt shaker. Squirrel. I don't got nothing with me. I'm upstairs. All my props are downstairs.
I'll give you a tease too, Josh. I've got a CD to show tonight as well.
Well, I've already bought these a while back, so I figured, what the hell not?
Yeah, I was just saying you could have showed them tonight. You could have showed that up, but anyway.
But going back to wrestling, the GCW incident, the guy wasn't hurt.
Could he walk? Could he eventually walk away and be carried away? Yes. Did he get hurt? Could continue? Yes.
So I've seen him. I've seen something in person from Ring of Honor circa 2015 Tommaso Ciampa had a chair set up in the middle of the ring. Grabs his opponent, brainbuster through the chair. Dude didn't move for like several minutes. Selling at its most finest. He got pinned 1, 2, 3. The referee tried to grab him, pick him up. The dude was just laying there. Finally, about several minutes later, they got him out of the ring to continue on with the show. Nigel McGuinness was there. Several other people were there. AJ Styles was there. Who else was there? Matt Seidel was there. Michael Elgin was there. Tommaso Ciampa. Kevin Owens, or Kevin Steen rather.
Yeah.
Kill Steen, kill.
This was right before they all left and went to WWE.
Yeah, kill Steen, kill.
And it was a show right before Final Battle. There was a TV tapings that led up to Final Battle, so it was really, really cool.
Hey, chat. Everybody in the chat, give me a yo. Y'all ain't moving. I don't see y'all. Give me a yo in the chat.
There ain't nobody out there. We're all alone. But
Chat's unusually stop moving tonight. Normally that thing's moving.
it happens.
It would be like, question. This, you'd be asking, playing 20 questions with us.
Mm-hmm. But as it stands,
We're gonna after Mike. Well, go ahead, Mike.
well, I mean, as it stands, like the GCW stuff, the OVW stuff, the other OVW thing, or not OVW, GCW thing I showed y'all tonight from this past weekend with Marco Stunt, KJ Orso, and Sam Stackhouse. That was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Set up and safe plan, but looked great.
Yeah. Still look brutal as fuck. I'm like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, he just killed Marco Stunt.
Not quite as brutal. Not quite as brutal as when Mike Awesome hit Lil Spike Dudley's girlfriend when he was high on the coke. That is still legendary.
Yeah, he broke that bitch's nose, man.
Oh, bro, the way he clotheslines her, he swings down and she just falls to the mat. That is one of the most brutal, unplanned. Like they were like, oh, go hit her, go clothesline her, not kill her. And I mean, I think it was set up where she's got fake blood in the mouth. I think that was set up, but I don't think it was planned for Mike to wipe her out that brutally.
No.
I don't think that was planned. And Don Callis said it after the spot when they showed him and Joey Styles. He used to always do like break kayfabe, but not to the people on commentary. He looks at Joey Styles and says, "Well, I'd never get in there when Mike's all wired up like that." And Joey just looks at him, and you know what he meant. And back then, when Mike would do promos when he was with Judge almost said Judge Mills Lane, Judge Jones, his eyes would be wide as shit, you know. Mike
Judge
was on
Jeff.
that coat.
Judge Jeff.
Yeah, Judge Jeff Jones.
I'm a big fan. All those old.
You know, he's a backstage producer for AEW.
Really?
Jeff Jones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he works for AEW.
I don't blame him. I would too.
Well, I think we ought to move on. Y'all want to get into we talked about the big WWE news last night, so everybody go watch the show for that. But we heard rumors. Now it seems true that Vince is really talking to the Saudi backers about he wants to see about buying back WWE for TKO. It's not rumor anymore. He's really setting up to see if he can do it with Saudi as his financial backers.
There ain't enough money for them to buy it, man.
What? Them? Dude, they're loaded. They piss away like what people make in a lifetime.
Like which Saudi? I mean, is it the guys that were going over there and performing?
No, Saudi Arabia. They're completely not in the conflict short of Iran was bombing our U.S. ambassador over there at the building. They're not involved. No one else is taking Iran's side in this. Everybody's like, fuck that. We don't want nothing to do with this. We want to be normal.
Well,
Iran's
still,
the last
it's
one
like,
being retarded.
well, at the same time, it was like, okay, he's getting Saudi backers, but at the same time, it's like, what's that going to cost? I mean, it's not
Dude,
like it's
they
not like
have
right
gate.
now. It's kind of like dangerous to fly over there, you know.
No, not to get the company to move over there. All he's got to do is get them to give him $1 trillion or how many billion, and it's over. And they have that. They play around with that. Have you ever looked at their city? Their big city, which is the most futuristic city in the world. You could swim down like over 100 meters in this hotel. If you're certified, you can go even lower. And they have like this. I mean, it's insane over there. Like Saudi's like the New York over there. There's only about 5 cars on the road at a time, and the roads are beautiful because they barely have anybody with vehicles. But I mean, they have money to burn those people. They're the richest people in the world over there. But
Yeah, Saudi Arabia. Yeah, that's the capital.
yeah, it's insane. That skyscraper they
But
got is like the tallest skyscraper in the world.
honestly, is like I. But would you want that back as like Vince McMahon back, or like honestly,
Well,
No.
that's the catch. You
yeah,
got the casuals in the comment sections online. Half of them are like, "Please, Vince, come back. It'd be the greatest face move of all." They think he's going to save the company, and Triple H isn't booking good. Believe it or not, you've got half the fools online that want Vince back. They say Vince will make it great again and drop the prices as well because Vince never overcharged. Because Vince was smart about that. Vince said, if you don't spend $1 million on a ticket, you're going to buy more merch and more stuff. Vince did have reasonable prices compared to TKO. You have to give him that.
Okay, but he still isn't. He's not the savior of the WWE, man.
He's not, but
no.
half of the people online that type and press buttons and buy tickets think so. That you got to look at.
They're suckers with a capital S.
You have to just like last night when you guys were questioning some of the stuff I was saying. You have to. There's how you look at it, and then there's public perception, and you got to consider. We can have our own personal feelings. Then we have to look at the big picture. And if you've got 50% of people online, that's probably 25% of their ticket sales. You have to look at the overall depth perception plus how we each feel personally about a subject, and that's why I'm bringing this up. You have people that are saying Triple H is dead. He's no good at the booking. La la la. Can we please have Vince back? Vince would be so over if he shows up again and takes over. And half of us or almost all of us would say, yeah, if Vince is back in control, it's gonna be one good night because he shows up, and then it's gonna be shit booking nonstop because it's not gonna be any better. We know this.
Well, here's the thing: the fans are fickle, but here's the thing: Triple H books just like Vince.
You have a great point, Phil, and that's because he knows what he knows. Look who he learned under, and look who's still in the company.
He booked a lot better under the Black and Gold brand, though. However, he's being. However, he's not in charge of it, though. That's the thing is that you have other creative like Bruce Pritchard.
Yes, exactly. That's where I was going. Look who's still in the company. Freebird, Michael Hayes, Bruce Pritchard, all Vince people still in there planning matches, making booking decisions, all that, doing matches.
That's why it still sucks. You can't blame Triple H for all of it.
You're right. And also, when you go bigger, you've got more on your plate. You can't micromanage everything like when he started with NXT. Paul Heyman was great in his early days of ECW until things got losing talent and then not having any income. Vince was great when he started in the 80s with his creative ideas and booking, and then when he had to survive in the Attitude Era. It doesn't last. After a while, life catches up. You got so much going on. You can't give special attention and detail to everything, and you can't micromanage everything. And when you have the wrong people on your team, and you know how WWE works. What's his name? Little bitty guy in the back.
Greg Helms?
He was on the end of the days of WCW. Jamie Noble has one match on the card or two matches. He sets that up the match. Michael Hayes has one or two matches on the card. He sets up. That's how pay-per-views work. You got to look at who was the runner for each match. Who was the agent?
The producer.
the agent for each match. They call him agent, but you see, for
Well, when you
years,
have 4 matches per pay-per-view now, is like
yeah.
like 4 producers.
But look at John Cena's run in his career. Almost his entire run of his career, one man handled all of his matches until he was let go. And y'all know who that man was?
Vince.
Nope.
Who?
Cameraman Steve. Who?
Double A, Arn Anderson was in charge of every Cena match till he was let go. Double A controlled everything that happened in that ring.
Arn Anderson was the best in-ring producer ever.
He was good in AEW too.
Well, the reason why they let him go because
let
what
someone
was it?
get
He
drunk.
let 2 wrestlers go out there wrestle drunk.
I don't know about 2. I remember Alicia Fox was all drunk and he just get out there. But back in the day, in the days of Flair and Arn wrestling 6 days, 7 days a week, twice on Sundays. That's why you didn't go to the gym. You didn't have to. A guy was messed up, but not too messed up. You went out there. So I don't blame Double A because all of a sudden something in life changed when that's how you did a job back then. Now, Double A didn't get in the ring drunk. Flair didn't get in the ring drunk. But you had people that did that back in the day and you set up. So all of a sudden you want life to change because a man that's done it the same way for 40 years, all of a sudden on day 41, you decide I'm going to change shit. Arn just did what he felt, oh, you're good enough. Get out there and do it. You're not going to do no high spots, but yes, it's breaking WWE protocol by sending somebody out there intoxicated.
TNA did it. WCW did it.
Jeff Hardy.
Hell, we watched Scott Hall do it all the fucking time.
Scott played drunk a lot of times more than was. There was a few times he was out there drinking, but half the time it wasn't really a match when he went out there. The one I can tell you is because I heard Nash and Hall tell the story when they had the Club La Vila show.
Mm-hmm. He was
And
toasted.
it was 90. The one where Giant threw him in the pool because he couldn't catch Nash all day. That's the one where Hall and Nash looked like beach bums. All day long, they were in a convertible and they stopped at every store they could and bought beer and would drink. They were like, "Oh, we'll get a 6-pack." They would down a 6-pack from every store to store until they got there and they were wasted. So that's why they didn't. They weren't on the. They came dressed like whatever. Eric was like, "Fine, whatever." Well, they did the quick spot where Giant threw Hall in the pool. That's it. They didn't have to do nothing else. They didn't get in the ring. They didn't get in the ring and hurt anybody.
That shit was so funny. And Scott Hall stood going.
Yeah. Yeah. Earlier that night, Scott Steiner got knocked over the rail backwards into the pool as well on that same show. Because every year we'd watch to see who would fall in. You knew somebody was going to fall in. The final year, not the final year because the last show, but the year before the final year, Flair got dumped in at the very end.
Mm-hmm. The last show was at Club La Vila.
Yeah, the 2001 show, I don't know if it was 99 or 2000. Flair was the only one that went in at the very end of the show.
Yeah,
it was like when he was like the mad president. He was like the mad president.
The very final show ended in 2001, where Shane McMahon showed up at Club La Vila.
Yep,
I was like, and everybody, even the crowd went, "What the fuck?"
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget that. I knew nothing about online. All I had heard was Bischoff was in talks about partners to get it, and all of a sudden Vince showed up on my TV on Turner, and I just went, "You just froze. You just watched the stream." And then when they had both on at the same time, I flipped back and forth from USA to Turner, and it was like that was wild seeing both shows on at the same time. It was just wild.
Mm-hmm. That's
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this and put it on a shelf, and everybody is fired.
Yeah, when Vince did that promo, they were simulcasting both at this, and it was both on each channel. And I was just like, "Look at this!" And you had to see both logos. It was just insane to see, and to see USA on one side, Turner on the other side was crazier than seeing WCW and WWF. That was crazy.
I remember. Yeah, I remember watching that shit. I was like, "Oh my god!"
I tuned in the next Monday just to check Turner, just to see if it was bullshit, and I realized, yeah, it's really over. I was just like, damn, it's like losing your favorite show.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Oh
horrible.
no! Toward the end, the WCW was turning to shit.
The last year it got good. After that crappy Starcade me and Mike watched, they started putting more of the new guys. The first few months, they really were pushing the new talent. It wasn't over yet. It was a bunch of B- players and C pluses getting the rub next to Scott Steiner and Booker T. But they were in the right track. That's why everybody says, "What if?" Well, you can what if all you want. We'll never know because of what happened.
Well, I will tell you this: in watching Starcade 2000, there was one good match out of the whole thing.
Those guys got pushed after that. All those guys in that crop got pushed from January to March.
Yeah, and then that was it. That was, dude. That was so god awful how they did them, man. Like
That was Russo. All no rules, but rules when you feel like it. Crappy hardcore match after crappy hardcore match.
count your own pinfalls.
Like not the last thing you would expect to see at Classic Starcade. Something you would expect to see at Anarchy Rules or Extreme Rules or not even all the time. Not something you would expect to see at of all of them Starcade. Just ridiculous.
Even or like especially you see Norman Smiley become a hardcore champion. That was just ridiculous.
Yeah, but
Hey,
Norman was actually funny. Screaming Norman was actually funny with Ralphus.
But
Yeah.
if you ever seen him in his ring technically outside of WC or that, he's a great technical wrestler.
He's a coach. He's a coach over there in NXT. He's been there for years. Norman Smiley.
Yeah, he started.
That's where he's been.
Yeah.
After WCW folded, he went to TNA for a small stint, and he's married to a big white woman. He really is.
The big wiggle.
He's married to a big white woman, and
Big
he's been
wiggle.
married for years, man. And
Now he's a coach for NXT.
Great guy,
Been-
man.
Been there a while. Oh, I always knew he was a nice guy, great guy behind him. He's the opposite of Bill DeMott. Let's say that.
I heard he's really good with the talent and everything, so I heard he's especially. I liked it when him and Ralph was teamed together. That was hilarious.
Y'all were sleeping. Mike pulled up. I had him look up when Norman Smiley and Ralphus walked through the door and Scott Steiner's waiting for him. Scott Steiner whacks Norman like fake with the pipe. He punches Ralphus in the face hard, real legit. You hear pow, and then you see Ralphus hit the ground. And Ralphus don't get up. Norman just starts running because he's like, Scott Steiner was like, fuck this jabroni. He ain't in the ring. Scott hit it. I laughed my ass off because Scott decks it for real.
He just wow.
And the camera zoomed in, so it's like you can see it all like straight to the side, the push. And Ralphus took the hit and it's like Ralphus went down like, I ain't getting hit again. He's like, yeah, he's sitting for real.
Evolution is solution. That's what we do.
Huh?
Evolution is solution, and that's what we do. Damn it, Devin.
Damn it.
No, that's Dev, not me.
Yeah. We know he texted a bunch of stuff earlier, and I told Mike, I was like, please tell him to chill.
Yeah.
You don't know we're live.
Tell him we're live and join, and tell him to jump in the chats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
he's an LA Knight fan. Him.
Who? Terrible.
Let's get into the AAA that happened this weekend.
Go ahead, Josh. You don't want to watch the shit.
I missed match one.
Well,
I did watch it. I watched it.
Match one was oh good God, what was it?
That good, huh?
And it was a good match. I'm just trying to remember what it was. It's only 4 matches.
Yeah, I saw the other 3. Mr. Lizard wasn't in the first one.
Lizard.
No, I don't think he was in the first one.
I know the Sandman story, Mike.
The Sandman.
Yeah, here, Lizard. Sandman and New Jack. Sandman took a bunch of acid. New Jack's out the ring, and Sandman's in the ring. He just starts tripping. He goes, here, Lizard. Here,
No.
Lizard.
Well, I can't right now. I'm pretty sure Mike can look it up right now what the first match was.
How you like that?
But because he's got the Google machine right now. I don't.
Man, why you want me to look up crap?
Oh, what? This is
Period.
actually.
He's looking it up.
I know the second match was
Bailey.
Lady Flamer had an
Against
open
Bayley.
challenge, and Bailey came out to like
Applause like a motherfucker.
applaud, like she was over like a son of a bitch.
Yep. And
And
that was a great match.
a
Great,
very great match.
almost as good as Stardom. But yeah, we got technical wrestling. We got out the ring. We got in there. The only thing I didn't like was the quick fuck finish by the other girls.
Yeah,
To protect the girl. But Bailey looked ready to get out of WWE and do some real wrestling. She looked good.
I can definitely tell she's just kind of going through the moment, through the going through the
Bailey was not going through the motions on this night. She put on a 5-star match.
yeah.
Oh,
It was
the Rhea de Reyes match.
What it was?
Rhea de Reyes pay-per-view. That's what it was.
yeah.
she still put on a good match.
Oh no,
The
Bailey
man-
went above and beyond and put on a pro
There was
wrestling
like 4
women's match.
matches in
She
4.
put on a
1, 2,
clinic.
3, 4, 5, 6 matches.
And there was only like 4 matches that aired.
6.
So
I'm counting 6.
I joined for the Bailey match.
well, it was the Bailey match. Then after the Bailey match, it was
The two
the-
El Nacho Grande meals versus La Parca and
Santos Escobar. And
Escobar.
No, the very first match was Laredo Kid and Dragon Lee versus TJP and Jack Cartwheel.
Well, damn, that would have been a good match to watch. It's probably the fastest of the night.
Damn, how did I miss that one?
You were sleeping and I missed it.
I started from the beginning. I was like, yeah, that's not.
AAA World Cruiserweight Championship Fatal 4-Way match.
I bet that was a great. Did it air on the show or was it like not aired though?
Yeah, there you go.
Because I didn't. I would have went back and saw that if I knew.
And then there was, after that match, it was the Relevos Australianos Trios match with Rey Fenix, Mr. Iguana, and Lola Vice versus La Hydra, Gara de Oro, and Camilo de Plata.
Yeah, that one I didn't see either.
Me either. I tuned in. I saw it was live. I clicked the button, and I see Bailey, and the crowd is absolutely cheering the fuck on out of Bailey and booing their own, the Lady Flamer.
And then the next match was Pagano and Psycho Clown versus Eric and Ivar. And then
that was the first match. Yeah, because I watched it from YouTube, and they only showed 4 matches.
All right, then they cut the first 2 matches off the show, and that was just for the live crowd. And they only had X amount of time to run on YouTube. So they probably ran their time with the 4 main shows, and that was like a pre-show, just live. But I would have enjoyed watching those matches. I love watching anything to do with Lady Flamer and her 2 girls, because the other 2 girls with the big asses, that's my favorite chicks to watch.
Oh, yeah, I got to meet those 2. Yeah.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's some cake. That is some cake to die for.
Cake.
Especially the one with the massive thighs and the big ass. Holy fuck. Kill me now. Drown me.
And then the next match was El Grande Americano. It was a fatal 4-way match between El Grande Americano, La Parca, original El Grande Americano, and Santos Escobar.
Yeah,
Winner gets the AAA Mega Championship match.
Yeah, that was Dom against your boy. And like I said before it happened, what did I tell y'all they were going to do in AAA? Move in the WWE people they wanted, and that's exactly what every match had pretty much.
And then the open challenge, the Reina de Reinas Championship, Lady Flamer and Bailey.
Yeah. And all the WWE people were cheered. The Mexican originals were all booed. That's something else I noticed. Dom was over, and Vikingo, is it that he's against? They completely booed him.
Well, they've been booing. They actually, he's heel. That's the reason why they boo him. And 2, the reason why they started booing him is because of all the
Alberto
Alberto del Patron or whatever he's going by. Shit. So they've been booing him ever since.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but he was cheered the first AEW AAA show, so that just shows you how much different things are. But yeah, no. Notice how there's no Del Rio in sight, which I knew was going to happen.
Well, y'all heard about what he did in the boxing ring, right?
You told me, I did not hear.
Oh, did y'all heard?
I think I've seen a clip or something, like a little news.
Yeah, he spazzed the fuck out at the end of the boxing match and like legitimately body slammed a couple of people in the middle of the ring.
Wow.
And he was throwing punches, and he was trying to get to the guy he was fighting or boxing, and he was going to beat his ass legitimately.
Anthony, let us finish covering this. We got one more piece of news after, and then Mike can see about adding you. All right, buddy?
Yeah, and then the AAA Mega Championship match was if Mysterio wins, Vikingo can't challenge for the title as long as he's champion. If Vikingo wins, Mysterio has to leave AAA.
Well, we know that ended.
Of course, it's Ray. I mean, Dominic.
Yep. And he's over like Rover over there.
Oh, yeah.
Before we forget, before we move on, if y'all want to finish talking about this, we need to cover what happened in the New Japan Cup. The quarterfinals are over, but continue where we're at.
It is sponsored by Dubby.
Okay.
Get your W 30% off.
And Josh must be in some hardcore texting thinking right now. He completely
No,
missed his
I
W.
actually look for some photos.
You missed your W spot, bro. Phil, fly Batman over for since he has no squirrel. He completely missed his
All
W
right,
spot.
get your W energy drinks at w.gg. Use our promo code Ringside Rents, 10% off. Go.
Yeah, and smash that like button in the chat while y'all are at it. We ready to move on? Y'all are done with AAA or what?
I guess, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't try to run through it. I mean, I was just saying the matches.
Well, with AAA, but before we move on, I guess WWE redesigned or actually reissued a new version of the AAA Mega Championship, which to me it doesn't look bad. It just looks shiny.
Yeah, definitely shiny. I know Phil has comments about it. First thing he said was the title.
I mean, I could see a little bit of a design on the front. It's changed. It's changed a little bit, but other than that, it just looks shiny. It looks like a new belt.
A shiny new fucking toy. That's all it does. Like WWE does all to their fucking belts.
No,
I don't like.
Honestly, I look at it as like I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. It just looks like a brand new belt. It just shined up and everything. The only thing that would have pissed me off is they put the WWE logo on it.
Yeah.
I don't like around the. All right. Yes, it's very shiny Aztec gold. It does look fake. But the thing that I really don't like is around the designs of the plates to the belt. It just, where's the rest of the detail? It just looks like a piece of leather with shit just thrown on it 1976 style. I don't like that. I think they could have.
I like the third dimensional that the second version had. It had like looked like an ancient Aztec artifact. That's what I loved about it.
It still does. It still does. I mean,
yeah, I find this belt. It looks like that's thrown on a piece of leather, and just if you look around it, that I don't care for. I wish they'd have done something to where it just doesn't look like it's slapped on the leather.
I will say this, and I'm never gonna. This will never happen again. It looks like they took the version 2 belt and dipped it into like some jewelry cleaner. And that's all they did, because version 3 looks exactly like version 2 with just a little bit more high details. And a lot of people don't like it because, like what Anthony just said and what Jordan said, it looks fake. It looks like a prop now. What has every title in every company ever been?
Yeah, they are props, but even the crappy the WWE with the big W, it doesn't look like that's. It doesn't look like that's just thrown on the. It looks like around the edges has some embellishment. There's lines. There's some. It's not a flat piece just thrown on like the. You know a good example of that? You remember the U.S. title in NWA, the United States that was just on the red belt, the shape of the U.S.
Yeah.
You know that's just on there, but then there's no words, no. It's just on the leather. That was okay back then, but don't give me that. Give me some, like Phil was saying, 3 dimension. Give me a couple of lines, a little layering, some
That's
rivets to come.
it looks like the gold aged some, because gold does age if you don't shine it for a
Well,
while.
it's a brand new belt.
But what I'm saying is they could have.
Designed though, it was like thousands of years old.
It doesn't look like it's into the belt. It looks like a flat piece of a flat piece that was just slapped on a leather belt. That I don't like. I mean,
Well,
they should have it.
you got to realize.
I think
Well,
it
you got to
looks good.
realize that the mega championship, they haven't changed it. I mean, literally.
That's my problem
You-
with
you
the
got-
mega
you got-
championship.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about literally. Because I actually talked to Vikingo about this, and and I asked him because he had the belt, and I held that belt. That belt's fucking
That's
heavy.
heavy.
The mega championship. That's a pretty fucking heavy belt. And I handle steel, so I know the weight of a belt.
I was surprised with the weight of the ECW
And
title.
but
A
I
replica.
asked Vikingo is like, is this because I asked him, is this a belt right here? Is this the actual title that's shown on TV, or is this a touring belt or something that they give to him is like they tore around or something? Is
They
like,
don't have
no,
to.
this is the belt that I won from this guy and he won it from Kenny Omega. I mean, this belt technically has been around for almost 15 years of being beat up, thrown on the ground, touring, and everything. So it's yeah, that's why it looks aged and weathered and beat up and all that. So it's like I'm telling you, it's like the new belt that they issued to Dominic. I'm saying it's not bad look. I mean, it looks brand new. It looks shiny. I'm like, that's it. I mean, it still has the logo of Pena on it and everything. Has the Mexican flag on it. I wish they would have detailed the Mexican flag a little bit more. But that's my only nitpick. The only thing I'm glad for is that they didn't put the WWE logo on it.
Or
That's
like
what
Andrew said, they
that's
didn't
what
make
I'm
it look,
most happy about.
because the way it's shaped, they didn't make it look like a UFC title either.
Yeah.
They could have
So
done
but personally, it's like I have no problem with it.
I don't mind the shape. I think it's unique. I don't think it's offensive. I just wish they would layer a little bit, like kind of like Phil was saying with dimensions. I wish they would have a little bit coming off of it as you go into the belt, to where I mean the AEW World Title does it, WWE's title does it, New Japan's gorgeous title really does it. You just it's not one flat piece. You've got some etchings and stuff that comes off. You have some rivets, you have some grooves, and that way it doesn't look like you just took a flat piece of metal and just
No,
on.
the original the title before it, the version 2. Because remember we seen the version 1, version 2, version 3. The version 2, that thing is that thick.
Yeah, but version 3 is not the modern one.
Yeah, they thinned it out. I'm like, okay, that's good. It was like I said,
I
like
saw
I
it
said, I don't know how
sideways
they
in the
get that
light.
belt through customs.
I saw it sideways in the light, and it just the gold. It's very Aztec shiny gold. I get that,
Yeah,
but it should have more of a. I find that Lucha Underground's title look better.
yeah, but yeah, that belt, the plate, the front plate. I'm literally, like I said, I held that fucker.
But that was V2. That's not
that
today.
fucking thick.
That's V2. That's not V. That we were talking about the modern one.
Yeah,
That's
the V2. Yeah, that's the one I held.
Phil liked the V2 because of the thickness. It gave more definition. You don't have that anymore.
Yeah, but you got to be fucking a strong man to hold it.
Well, it is. I'll quote JR. It ain't ballet, Josh. Wrestling.
The heaviest belt I've ever held is probably the New South belt. That thing weighs at least 20 to 25 pounds. Yeah, the Haas belt. Yeah. Well, it ain't the Haas belt. It's a New South World Heavyweight title. It's a heavy little. It's a heavy bastard. Oh, it's a Haas. Yeah, it's a heavy fucking
In
title.
a house.
Okay, Anthony. I didn't mean to cut you guys off. Anthony. Yeah, I get it. Okay, it costs more. Yeah, but guess who owns them now? WWE. Guess who's got money to burn? WWE. Guess who's raking it in? They could have forked out a little more and done that if they wanted to. They just didn't want to, Anthony.
It's just WWE's too lazy when it comes to like, making good belts.
They haven't made a good belt in 20 years, man.
I was never y'all. I mean, Josh will give us some heat on this because he grew up with him. Especially, he'll be more than the rest of us. But I did not care for the WWF title Hogan won. I did not care for the Bret Hart title. I did not care for the Austin title.
The Wing Eagle.
I did not
Crazy.
care. I thought they looked like shit compared to WCW and NWA's Big Gold. Sorry.
I mean,
Bro.
the Big Gold is good, but I always
Big Eagle
liked
is
the
good,
Big
but that
Eagle, man.
The Eagle belt was paid homage to the NWA, all the territories, and then I mean, dude, how do you not respect that Winged Eagle belt?
I
The
never
wi-
thought it was. I thought it was a cheap belt back then. Is it better than what they have today in WWE? Yeah. I didn't. I've never really cared for any of their world titles except the first one with the big W that The Rock broke out before it turned into the one today. The first one when he won the belt for Cena and it had champion written on it underneath. It was just the shading
Well,
of it.
that's the after Austin won it, they changed the belt to that one.
No.
No.
You wait. This is way
Yeah.
like we're talking 2011, 2012. We're talking 2011 to 12 right here, dude. We're talking about
No.
the first redesign of what you have today. That they've changed like
the
4 times.
predecessor of what you have today.
Yeah, the one the Rock.
One The Rock released in 2013.
Yes, the one the Rock broke out and showed on TV, and the whole crowd.
That was better than what they had in 2015.
Yes, it is. We all just went whoa, like that looked like a real top. But they changed the colors and they added more bedazzlement and jewels, and the second one looked bad. Then you had the one Reigns did where he gold everything out, and it got ridiculous. And then all the belts have to have the big W now. But the first one,
they retired the big gold belt, and it still has a big ugly ass W on it.
anyway,
I hate that the WWE logo. It sucks ass.
yeah, well, you mean the straight one since they got away from the Attitude Era and all the lines are straight now?
Yeah,
on the
they
belt?
got rid of the
The scratch. They call it the scratch.
I
logo.
prefer the scratch logo over the current logo.
Yeah,
current
the
logo-
scratch logo was they nailed that in the time era. The
The new
scratch
logo, I hate it because it represents, a time when everything's all passed by. It represents like after basically the shitty WWE we have now.
The PG era and the reality era is what it represents.
Josh, that cat's gonna beat your ass, dude.
Yeah.
You got
Well,
right
this
in your face the first time, dude.
This little itty bitty thing.
I
See,
wanted
little
to
itty-bitty-
like Anthony. I wanted to like that title because it had the black. It just looked darker with the way the colors were in the black belt. It seemed like it would be darker, but I felt like that one was cheap as well. But I don't know. There's some people that say that's the best one, better than the Winged Eagle. But
The undisputed title. Actually, that was a good looking one.
See,
That was
see,
new one before
see-
it got replaced by the spinner belt.
that was the Brock. I call that the Brock belt because Jericho had it for a second, but he really was walking around
No,
with
it
the
was
two
Triple
on
H that had it,
I call it-
rocking both the big
Yeah.
eagle and the big gold.
I call it the Brock because it was really the era of when Brock rose up when he squashed the Rock and won, and he had that title. But I mean, yeah, you had Kurt Angle, you had a bunch, and you had Triple H had his reign of terror.
Hogan held it too.
Who?
Josh, what was your favorite belt of all time?
Favorite belt?
Not WWE, not WCW, just
Everything.
any belt, everything.
God, there's a couple, but honestly, I was a fan of the AEW belt. because when they debuted it, I was like, damn, that's a big fucking title. And it looked fucking cool as hell. Still looks cool as hell.
I even
Big
like
gold. The Ric Flair's big gold belt. The Winged Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
That was always a good belt. Didn't care for the ECW. It was too bland. ECW belt was kind of bland.
Which
I
one?
like theirs better than.
Or the one before that was replaced by or
I like it. I like
But
the ECW
I say,
belt.
I would say the most iconic belt, honestly, to this day, is the original NWA belt.
Oh, the 10 pounds of gold.
10 pounds of gold.
I
It's
was
like
not
that's
expecting you to. I was not expecting you to say that.
That's a
I
beautiful belt.
I was expecting Winged Eagle version 1 from like Bret Hart.
well, the Winged Eagle went all the way from Hogan
Well, before
Shawn Michaels.
even Hogan did it, was Bruno Sammartino that held it.
No.
I don't remember the Winged Eagle on the title Hulk had from Sheik, the first title before.
No,
the Hogan title.
the first that one was like a circle disc and it had a bunch of squares on it.
Yeah, that with the green.
Once he won that, once Hogan won that, they switched over to the Winged Eagle belt
Yeah,
and the
was the Hogan belt.
Yeah, and the Winged Eagle belt lasted from Hogan all the way to Shawn Michaels versus Austin, and after Austin won it, they switched it over to that circle one.
I like that one the best of the three.
Which one is that?
The Austin title is
the
one.
IWGP. I do like the IWGP. I forgot to mention that one.
Yeah,
I do like that one, but if I have to pick a favorite, I was like the most iconic. I would say is the original NWA Heavyweight Championship, but the 10 pounds of gold.
Okay, what you got, Phil? What you got on best title?
Oh, he's holding it.
It's a tie. I'm gonna say it's the two ties for me.
I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
The big gold belt and this.
Yeah.
Those are my two favorite belts.
Yeah, they are. One is the greatest of all time. One is the modern day greatest of all time.
Yep, and I have to go. If probably one of my other favorite belts is some of the ECW belts too.
Josh didn't care. I like the first version of Extreme Championship Wrestling's belt better than all the Winged Eagles.
It had the chain links on it.
I even like the one that Terry Funk held too.
The WCCW World Heavyweight title. That's a pretty title. What about you, Jordan? What was your favorite?
Phil almost said I almost agree with everything. The greatest of all time is Flair's Big Gold. The NWA title, I never liked the shape and the look of it. I respect its history. I never liked the look of it. The WWF titles, I was never a fan of. I like for modern day, the one Phil's holding is not perfectly accurate, but it's close. But that V4 world title Phil has, that IWGP, that is the modern day like that is the one you want. That's the one you want to show off. Special shout out to the not the original, but the final, not WWE version, the final WCW United States Championship was beautiful.
Yeah.
I like both versions of the last two versions of WCW's tag belts. I like both. The Hall and Nash belts, Steiners, and the Benoit Malenko that came like 99 and after. Some people hated on them. I like the look. I remember saying this looked pretty cool. And who else would get a special shout out? Let me think. Titles.
I like that title, by the way. The green, the tree hugging hippie title, the wood title. I actually like that.
I wish he would have put a little stain and varnish on there, but it would have probably been bad for the environment. But I did. That was cool to see that wood tie. It fit his character perfetly.
Maybe one would have liked that was Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, ZSJ would have probably been all about. But you know what? This is pretty freaking great.
And RVD was like, "What? It's made of him?"
He'd be like, "This goes great with my vegan dickheadness." But very, very much love. I hate that they destroyed this title. The IWGP United States title was so gorgeous. Oh my God. That thing looked like a boxing championship. The way they had just the right amount of color and come off the belt without being gaudy, to put the red and the blue in there and to have a little bit of the American flag, and it's a circle design. I really thought that title was. Phil's got a replica. The real straps was darker, but yeah, that title is gorgeous. That title is fucking gorgeous right there.
The IC title was purity too. I like that one. Yeah,
Held by
IC.
Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, Jay White.
Hey,
John
Phil, hold that closer to the screen so the guy, like, hold it up right to the screen so the guys can see. Take
Which
a
one is
look.
it?
Oh,
Oh,
hold
yeah.
on. Take a look at the center. I love how the circle in there has the states. You're holding it upside down, Phil. Oh no, you got it right. See how they have the red and white stripes under in the circle and the blue at the top, and then the bottom almost like it almost looks like a biker patch. You've got the bottom curving in the IWGP at the top. That gives dimension. I think that title, and I like the dark maroon strap, the real one. But that title is gorgeous. The title is fucking gorgeous. It looks like a professional fighter's championship. That thing just looks great.
Y'all want to know my favorite titles?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to know my favorite titles.
Oh yeah. Here's the before that was the photo I was trying to find.
Hold on, Josh. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. I'm gonna make it maximized.
Yeah, because we can't.
Put it back.
Yeah. Oh, you asshole.
Oh, and that ass was fat.
I know they are so thick. I want death by snoo with them.
Yeah, that's new.
Yeah.
You got the money. So my favorite titles, I have several. I've been around several companies, several promotions, seen a lot of titles, held a lot of titles. Locally, independently, TNA had a beautiful X Division title. Their very first X Division title was beautiful.
Oh, the NWA one or the TNA one?
NWA TNA one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a beautiful title. I got to hold that several times. It was beautiful. The NWA TNA Heavyweight Championship was a beautiful title. Even though it was a play on the 10 pounds of gold title, it was still beautiful. Because in the TNA brand was the head honcho of NWA. That was the flag bearer of the NWA at the time. That was the flag bearer.
Oh yeah, War Hero.
Salute the man, Kevin. He's a war hero. That was Gino's time. Well, even a little before, but Andrade held that belt. MVP held that belt.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Omega held the belt. Chris Jericho.
Jay White.
Sometimes sleepy, sometimes spicy. Philhausen.
Love it or be cursed.
Whoever wrote that, you get comment of the night.
That's country.
And also, the person who held this multiple times, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, that is pretty much like we've been naming a person on every belt. That is the Nakamura title. That is the top. He's the man that made that, and they let the fans vote. I don't know if Mike and Josh know this. Phil knows this history. They let the fans vote. Naito had earned a shot for the World Heavyweight, the IWGP Championship. They let the fans vote. Is that going to be your main event, or is the IWGP Balor versus Nakamura? And they went with Nakamura. Nakamura headlined a Wrestle Kingdom with that title, the IC title.
And if I'm correct, it was Naito that got butthurt.
Well, Naito was not fully developed as a character yet. Naito didn't have his attitude. That's why Naito didn't win.
Anyway, back to my title situation here. We've seen all y'all's. We heard all y'all's. My time, damn it.
All right, Mr. Selfish, go ahead.
I am being selfish, ain't I?
Yeah, go for it.
Anyway, the X Division, the TNA, NWA, TNA heavyweight title was also a play on the 10 pounds of gold, which I loved it. But my favorite two titles of all time that I've actually got to hold, actually looked at and said, damn, that's a beautiful title. One of them is the New South title. I love that title. It's beautiful.
You
And
would
the
have
other,
to put a picture up because no one watching this show is going to know what New South is, and we don't either.
I'll pull up a picture in a minute. I promise you, it's huge. And the other title that I actually got to hold, and most people are like, "Oh man, that title don't mean shit. That title's stupid and ugly." It resonates in my heart because I actually got to hold it and got to see it live. And that's the Combat Zone World Heavyweight title from back in 2008.
CCW 08.
No, not GCW, CZW.
I said CZW.
Mm-hmm. The Combat Zone World Heavyweight title from back in the day.
All right, so those are more sentimental to you because you got to touch them. Okay, but you really think both of those belts look better than Flair's big gold?
I think the New South one does. Yeah.
You pull that thing up so we can see it, you fucker.
Oh yeah, here, enlarge this one.
Okay, hold on 1 second, Josh.
That's the New South title?
Nope, that's the AAA title.
Mike, I didn't do it. I didn't do it, Mike.
What?
Yeah, you're wanting your spot. I didn't take your spot. He did.
Who took my spot?
Josh. You've been trying to talk about your favorite titles all.
Yeah, but like I said, look at that. That thing was that fucking thick.
Do you see the rivets around there? That makes all the difference in the fucking world on that title, Josh. Do you see those lines at the bottom? The AAA, the symbols coming off the gold in the middle, and those rivets. That makes a massive difference. That makes the title look better.
When you talk about the jewels?
Bigger difference. Huh?
The jewels around it?
They look like I couldn't see jewels. You're on a damn cell phone trying to get restreamed on a square through the Restream app. They look like rivets.
Yeah, it's not rivets. It's like little red jewels.
Okay, well, the hats off to the red fucking jewels. Yeah, do that on the new title and don't make it look like a thin sheet of metal. Okay, good. Yeah, that adds dimension. That looks way better than the new. The new one's shinier.
It probably takes weight off of it. Fuck, man. Like I said,
this fucking. If Paul Heyman
that thing was heavy.
If Paul fucking Heyman can hold the Big W belt over his head for forever for Tribal Chief and for Brock, the pro wrestlers can hold up a 25-pound title.
Well, that's probably fucking aluminum. Aluminum don't weigh shit.
Look at that.
That's your favorite title?
This is from Mexico. That was probably all brass.
The views and opinions of Josh are absolutely his, and he's got descent over there, so he can.
What do you think about that one? Now, that's a beautiful title.
What is that?
The New South.
It's a shame they don't have any coloring. The words just blend into the gold. If they would have added some color, that could have been a nice title.
That's a beautiful title, man. I don't care what anybody says. It covers.
Are you crying? Are you crying?
I'm crying, man. I'm a big baby. I can't help it.
Hey, it's like
crying over that.
It's like Beavis and Butthead. You're crying.
But no, that title right there, it covers. I'd say 4 states: Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, actually South Carolina, and Mississippi, and some of Florida. So yeah, that's a big title.
I would have taken the center oval where you see the Gulf Coast states and colored that. I would have, and with some background, like put the blue for the water down there, color the states green or what. I would have put some color in there. Man, and then I would have added maybe the trim around, leave the trim gold around the edges. Added a little more color, and maybe the word champion is really bothering me, and the new poking off the top of the belt. Stopping the perfect angle, like jabbing into your stomach, the rectangle at the top. I would have rounded that at least. I like the cutouts on the bottom of the centerpiece. I like the circles on the side and how the side plates have the cutouts. I like that. That's very clever.
That's a beautiful title. Wait till you see it in person, dude. It like Josh said, thickness of that title, it's not thin. As you can see, it's got rivets that hold that title onto the leather.
Isn't New South owned by IWA?
Nope.
Hmm.
New South is owned by two people, one of them being Dump Sanders, the other one being by Jason Coleman. They're business partners. Are both wrestlers. Dump is a business partner. Jason Coleman also goes by CBD. Not CBD. CMD. Cabana Man Dan.
Where, Mike, where we at on time?
Oh, we're good.
How
We're
long?
fine.
How,
Well, no, what's good is like, is it almost midnight good or?
well,
Yeah,
how
we're
long
fine.
have we been into the show?
5 till midnight. 5 till midnight.
How long have we been into the show? We started at 10.
A little after 10.
All right,
We're-
let's
we're
cover.
at-
Let's.
we're at
let-
1
What
hour
did you mean
20.
the RWGP?
We need to cover the New Japan Cup, and then let's bring Anthony in. He can pick our brains and ask some questions. He's been wanting to get in.
Okay. The New Japan Cup. I fell asleep.
But you rewatched it.
I did. And Jordan, refresh my memory. Who has the picks so far down pat?
Oh, everybody but Mike.
No. Be real. Who has all the picks right now, Jordan?
Mike went out on a limb and took all the young guys, and so far he's looking good. But his first guy is going to be losing next match.
Yeah, I don't think. I really don't think Newman's going to win the title. Win the chance to face Suji. But if they do go that route, it looks really good. It looks really good.
Yeah.
And I'll pull the card up right now and let y'all see it. It looks really good.
Well, I should have, before we went live, I should have marked out everybody else's names and showed the final four.
Well. They don't need to see it. They just need to see this right here, Jordan. Here we go, right here.
If you have the graphic of the two matches coming up.
No. All you need to see is this right here, Jordan. All you need to see is
Oh, look, we don't need you to show off that you think you haven't even won yet.
but I have though, Jordan. I beat everybody.
No,
I
you
have-
haven't. The winner is the person who wins the final match that wins the cup.
The only person that could do that, everybody's thinking it's going to be Uno or Newman, but I can tell you this right now. I can tell you all this right now. The only people that has one win is Jordan and Phil. I have 4 wins right now. 4. How many?
That's not. There's only one win, and it's the winner of the cup.
4.
That's like trying to say the loser of a presidential race that conceded and lost wins. No, you don't.
I do win. I win right now. I have the A Cup.
You have not won until your final pick. Which who did you go with to win the whole thing? Shooter or Yuya?
Newman.
You went with Newman. All right, so you're gonna lose in the end. Okay, that's good to know.
So the only one that you think is going to win and be Phil with Umino. He ain't even picked but one winner. And oh wait,
Phil would win. It's about who wins. We picked the others for fun to see as we would go. That don't mean it ain't no total wins. There's only one winner, and that's the man that's going to hold the cup when the confetti flies down from the ceiling.
No.
No, you cannot alter rules. There's one winner.
You can't give him a technicality. You can't.
That's not a technicality. If Phil's guy wins the cup, Phil wins. And you know what? I doubted it. It's looking like it looks like Shooter. I think we might be in for a Yuya Uemura Shooter Unamo finale now with the way they're so over.
You got Macho Man. You got Hulk Hogan.
That's what it. And if one of them wins, Suji might be dropping that title quicker than we thought.
You know what, man? I really, really hope that Umino does win. I really do. But I really have a feeling that Oleg is going to beat Yuya and Newman is going to beat Umino.
If I had to pick a loser right now, I think Yuya is going to pull it out over Oleg. I think it will, even if they got to bring back the leg into the conversation. I think this is where Oleg's road stops. My problem is, would Newman make the most sense to go against Suji and lose? Yeah, but Newman's 23 and the de facto leader of the Bullet Club. Do they put him in there to lose for Ospreay to come back and say you couldn't get the job done? Or do we get that Shooter Yuya final match that everybody's going to go nuts for? They're going to go ape shit for that match. Then the winner of that goes directly into Suji. That's that same class of young lions. I mean, and do they beat Suji? Does Suji drop that title and end up back in the G1 to try to go for it again.
This is what I think, and the reason why I say Oleg and Newman go over, you don't want to give away this cup. You don't want to give away that high profile match in the cup.
I don't know, man. Why not? Why not do you? Well, there's no point in putting them together in a fight if there's no title because there's no grudge between them. This is the excuse to put Shooter versus Yuya. This is your legit excuse, and they're hot as fuck.
They were hot as fuck before even this cup even
No,
took off.
not as hot as now. Not as hot as now. Now the people are all in. They see in the youth movement. They realize New Japan did not do what I thought they would have done and fall back on two vets, two new guys. That it's all even Walker said it last night. All a young front, you know. I don't think you pass this chance up. Plus, you know they're going to fight multiple times. I think we might very well get that as a final, and that crowd is going to go ape shit.
Yeah.
I think you might get one of the two, but I don't think you can get both of them.
I don't know, man. All I know is I don't see why you would sleep on having a legendary match in a feud that's going to go on until they retire with these two guys working their way up for the cup. I mean, that's just as good as a title until you get to a title. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't, you know, and then one of them gets to hold the cup. They're going to hold that just like Shooter has already won a G1. He didn't win the title, but he's won a G1 last year.
Yeah.
No, the year before Takeshita, I should say, 2 years ago. But I don't know if you could sleep on this, especially with the. Let's talk about the response after the match. First of all, Shooter got his nose broke and finished the match in one. We had blood hard way. We got an interview with blood dripping now.
It was
Doesn't get much more hardcore than that.
It was a great match.
But I mean, when Shooter left the ring after his interview, what about that response from that crowd? Everybody rushing the barricades to touch that man. Everybody, women crying, handing out towels for him to wipe his sweat and blood off of him to give back. I mean, treating these dudes are getting treated like pop stars now.
Okay.
The thing I can say,
I think it worked for you. You guys are watching it more than me, so
I'm waiting for Mike to say something.
I know you are, but the thing about it though, Jordan, to me personally, I want this match to happen. I want Yuya versus Shooter. I do, but why do you want to put that so close? I mean, dude, they are a tag team.
You got to break that up, and they'll still be friends after. But they battled again. They have been best friends and had to live with each other in a dojo. They've been worst enemies in the ring as lions. That is how it works. Tsuji was there with them. That's how this thing works. You don't. You're not just gonna pull a WWE and I don't like you. Let's fight. You're not gonna do that with these two honorable guys. You got to give them a reason to go against each other, something to fight for, more than just personal pride, and that's the cup. I don't see why you don't. And they're gonna fight later on and later on and later on. It's gonna happen.
I don't want it this soon, man. I don't want it this soon because if you throw them together this soon, you're giving away a pay-per-view, man. You're giving away a pay-per-view for free.
This is the pay-per-view. The whole Cup series is like a pay-per-view. Then you get Genesis. I mean, that's the end of the tour. That match is going to be the final night of the Cup. You get the big ass trophy. You're in the history books. The confetti falls down from the ceiling, and possibly a world champion might come out and say some shit against you because you automatically get that shot. This is the big payoff. This is it, and a perfectly legit reason for them to face each other. I didn't think they were going to do it. Now I'm like, you're kind of stupid not to. That's the match everybody's going to go nuts for. That's going to be a show stealer.
Man, there's so much money to be made on this match.
But this, you have to understand, it's going to happen again, maybe this year, and then next year, and they're going to fight until they're old men. This is the biggest prize they could fight for right now. That's not the title. That's why you do it now, because in a year, 2 years, when Yuya and Shooter are face to face, and one of them has that world title, you're going to hear Walker talking about. It was at New Japan Cup 2026, the final, when so-and-so beat so-and-so. and won the chance to the opportunity and became that's all gonna come back. I'm telling you. That's what now. And if you do Newman, I don't see Newman 23 years old, young like he is, beating Suji for that title yet. I don't think he's ready, and he hasn't beaten Ospreay yet. That's the big thing. And Ospreay just returning to AEW. Tony Khan ain't letting his favorite Toro walk away right now. We got the closest we go see Ospreay to do anything to do with New Japan if he's ready. If he didn't just show up because he can walk, but if he's ready, Forbidden Door.
Mm-hmm.
So, someone was all, could Ospreay be in the G1? I was like, dude, he just come back from injury. I'm like, you pray on your lucky stars he shows up at Wrestle Kingdom next year for a match if you're lucky. Pray. Till then, you probably won't see Ospreay in a New Japan ring.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't see Tony Khan Tony Khan's immediately after this. Will proves he's not going to get injured in the match or two. No, not just that. Will's going to be right back in the top. You don't think he's going to set up for All In to get to go to Wembley and put Will in the main event? You don't think Tony Khan's already fever dreaming that?
No, because right now he's going after John Moxley in that Continental title. After that, then I see him going after. I see him feuding with Kenny Omega, and then at the end of all of everything, I see him versus MJF.
Yeah, that all makes a lot of sense actually. If you put that Continental title on Ospreay, it keeps him out of the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you got plans for the main event right now, that just keeps him hot for when you're ready. And we never really did get a good Omega Ospreay match because Ospreay was not at the level in New Japan when Omega was there. He was still a junior. So yeah, that will be a money match if Omega is healthy enough to be able to go.
Oh, Omega came back at Revolution.
Yeah, but I mean, he's had enough rest doing all this video game filming and all that bullshit. I mean, if he can go, I mean, all that AEW wrestling broke his body. That dude never struggled like that in Japan.
If Declan's taking
actually getting fucking sick kind of broke his body right there too.
Ticolitis, man, that shit ain't no joke, bro.
Yeah, all of that when he got overworked by coming to American television.
That ain't about being overworked. That's just your shit being fucked up. Hell, Brock had that shit.
Yeah, Brock got it when he was UFC fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to work. Stress, bro, stress. Stress activates cancer cells in people, bro. Stress is a killer, man.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's a silent killer.
Mm-hmm.
It'll fuck your shit up quicker than anything.
Yeah. Phil, you have nothing to add to the New Japan Cup?
I have to say, Shooter Uno.
I am starting to say that I think that's the direction they're going to go. I think Phil might win this whole thing.
Mike,
technicality. On a technicality, Phil.
Mike might be throwing out his entire list and having to forfeit to.
He's fancy booking. That's what he did. That's what got him in trouble.
What?
Your fantasy booking. Phil might win the whole damn thing, and I went with Shingo thinking they weren't gonna do this yet. But you know what? I'm glad they did. All the new guys shined in this tournament.
See what it is that all of Mike's favorite picks are gonna. All of Mike's favorite picks are going to do good all the way up into it. Then Phil's going to sneak in with his one pick that.
Mike's paper's going to be void, and Phil's ultimate winner is going to win the whole fucking thing.
That's bullshit, Josh. That's bullshit.
I'm sorry. It's like the winner it's like the Highlander. There could only be one.
Yep, and you have to have the cup to win. No, it's not how many wins you get.
He got treated like Tanahashi when he won.
You know what, Phil? You know what? Since you keep talking, guess what, Phil? Yeah, you can't talk no more.
He muted you.
I love you, man. I love everybody. I'm just giving y'all hell. This is my turn to shine, not yours and not yours and not yours, you traitor. Damn traitors. All of you except Phil. Phil, you suck.
All right, put his mic back on.
What did you say about it? This is my Hawkeye.
I can hear you, dude. I took you off mute. I just joked. I didn't.
All right. Before we call it, we want to let Anthony get in here and ask some
Yeah,
questions.
yeah. Let me see if I can get him in here. My computer is acting decent for a change after it restarted.
War Hero says unless Swerve or Omega become champions, but it's pointless. Joe will get it back. I think Joe's done with title runs, dude. Joe's on the last leg of his career. It's good to see him back, but I don't think Joe needs a title. Joe needs to make new talent like a lot of people I named last night. They were established.
Speaking of Samoa Joe, is like CM Punk did a name drop on him last night.
Damn sure did.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's respect there.
Well, dude, I think Samoa Joe would actually in a fist fight between Samoa Joe and CM Punk. Joe's gonna mop the floor with CM Punk.
Bro, I don't even tell me about modern day CM Punk in a fist fight. That's a joke. That's like that's a McDonald's napkin flying out my window when I lower it while I'm driving down the road.
And not only that, though, man. Not only that. Hell, remember UFC? How many fights did he win?
We know Phil Brooks is not a brawler. It's not a striker. That's not what he's good at, and he's not even good on the mat because we saw UFC. All right, he's an actor. He's manipulative, and he can talk. That's what Phil Brooks is.
You know what? You no longer can talk either.
Oh yeah.
Not you, Jordan, but the guy who posted it's either you or Shota. You're no longer allowed to talk either.
Damn.
No, War Hero's right. He's right.
Damn you people, man.
Come on, look at what's happening in front of your face. Those dudes are so over. And good on whoever. I don't know who War Hero 99 is, but I think he watches. If you watch New Japan, dude, you're becoming a VIP to the chat.
Yeah,
but also if you're also doing life right by watching Ringside Rants.
Yes, you are doing life right, brother.
Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, I'm having fun. I'm just giving everybody hell. I really am. I think, I honestly, I really do hope they push Yuya and Shota. I really do. And if Shota does, man, congratulations to him. But I picked all four of those guys to be where they're at right now.
Yeah. None of them are going to
win. Whatever.
None of your picks are going to win. Phil's gonna steal it. Phil's gonna play.
You know what, Jordan? You know what?
I'm glad I'm just sitting back and enjoying this one. I'm glad I didn't pick anybody.
There you go. I'm having fun, man. I like being able to mute you guys. It's so much fun. I didn't really mute you. I really didn't mute you. I muted you, but then I let you go back.
Can't mute me. I bring value to the show.
You think you do? Damn it.
Same.
You think you bring value to it? I'll mute you again. Damn it. I would love to see MJ drop it to Bobby Lashley. I would like that too.
Phil, how you like Mike making up these rules? Like he can just add up points or something like it's the G. It's not the G1. You don't get to add points. You're not a competitor.
Exactly.
It is, man. It's my win. I can do what I want to.
Yeah, no, it's 10-1. 10-1. Phil's pick is gonna win. Or
there you go.
Here's something. How brutal would it be, guys, if Yuya wins the cup and loses to Tsuji? How brutal would that be? That could very well happen. Just imagine that. What if Yuya wins, they built him up, and he loses. He doesn't win the title from Tsuji in the main event of Genesis. Just imagine he's gonna be like, I was so close, I have to fight harder and go into the G1. Just that could very well. That's that kind of storytelling they do. This could very well be an outcome. How brutal would that be, Mike? Or how over would it make Yuya?
Dude, Yuya's like I said, Yuya does Macho Man shit. Hulk Hogan is Shota. Shota don't use he don't use the top rope like Yuya does. Yuya incorporates the top rope a lot. Shota don't. Shota relies on his in-ring capabilities, his striking capabilities, his brawling techniques, and his technicality skills. Yuya uses his top rope maneuvers, his technicality, his finesse, and his wits, which all counter what. That's why I said they're two different individuals. Macho Man on one side, and you got Hulk Hogan on the other.
And,
And I
and,
know
but,
that's
and as much as it might kill some people to say, these two young guys are way better wrestlers than those two. As much as we love Macho Man here, we love Macho Man.
and Hogan. And I mean, dude, they're two icons. These kids, even though they're Japanese, and I know I'm comparing them already to the two of the greatest icons of our generations of all time. But I've said it. How many times have I been saying this, Jordan? I've been saying it for what, a month now, 2 months, and the reason I compare them like that, and people are like, no, man, Yuga's more like Tanahashi and Shota's more like Tanahashi, and they're basically Tanahashi.
Shooter is Tanahashi. I mean, you could tell, even though what he did around the ring, that's how Tanahashi would get treated in those areas.
Yuga did too.
At that one, at that show, but we got like both of them. We got to see him keep it up. But Shooter is very much, you could just tell he's like Tanahashi. And if I had to compare Yuya to somebody in Japanese,
Shingo.
Shingo's not a New Japan lifer. He was not there. Even though I love Shingo, he's the best living wrestler in the ring today. I don't know who I would put. Who would Yuya be most like from the old school?
Jushin?
So you can't go with. You can't say Muda because of the style. Muda went all over. You can't say Chono because Chono was actually not great in the ring.
Chono was just a crazy guy.
Yeah, Chono was as light of work. He would tell you, good. Oh, he told Sting, he's like, oh, you do all that crazy stuff running our ring, good, because I ain't doing that. I'll be out of breath. And he told him that in the 90s. He's like, easiest workload I can do is what I'm doing.
Yep.
But I don't know. If I had to compare Uemura to a young, less beefy, powerful Tenryu, Phil?
Bill.
I'm here.
I mean, Tenryu was more power, but maybe kind of that attitude. You know, Yuya's faster, leaner built, but maybe like maybe like that.
But
Try
you
to
see,
find somebody to compare Yuya to.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't compare them to the Japanese greats because let's just be honest, they're not yet. They're not there yet. They're not. And the reason I compare them to Hogan and Savage, remember WrestleMania 5, man, the makeup flowers exploding.
Yeah, you keep making the comparison because you were introduced to these guys as a tag team, and they were two guys that decided to be a tag team. That they're not all the time, just for the World Tag League. That's just like how Shingo and Drilla Mahoney, War Dragons, they've been teaming up. They got together. They started as enemies, came frenemies, got tight, and now they work great as a tag team. But that's you're never going to see those two tag again, except maybe if they have nothing to do and neither one of them have a future by the time World Tag League happens at the end of the year. You're not going to see those two tag again. And they're not going to turn on each other. It's not going to be a WWE storyline like that. It's going to be an honor fight like this that puts them against each other for the cup, for the future. That's why I say you do it now if you're going to do it. Or you do episode 1 main roster of them now. That's why I say you do it. And it is the cup finale. And here he is.
Hey guys, what's up? Hey Phil. Hey guys, what's up?
What's
Hey,
up,
guys.
Anthony?
Yeah, no, and what I was asking in the chat, do you guys like the original version 1 of the IWGP Openweight title before they transitioned that title to basically Haas fight? The Haas fight title, basically the bigger. It felt like that. Why did they transition that title, that Openweight title, to the bigger guys?
I don't remember what this first title looked like, dude.
You mean the never open weight? You mean?
Yeah, he's saying there was a version before 16 or 17. You'd have to pull that up or let me see it because
Let me find
I
it.
don't remember.
I'm talking about the first version that Tanahashi held.
The Neverweight.
Yeah, the never Openweight title.
I don't remember. I was either not watching at the time or did not pay attention to it on old matches.
I don't know how to share stuff on like Restream and stuff like that.
Mike Phil could pull it up. Mike, all you have to do is type in never Openweight IWGP Never Openweight Championship V1.
Okay, here we go. I'm doing a thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen it or focused on it. I thought they kept the same title the whole time, just like the well, I know not forever, but the junior titles and the heavyweight tag titles have been the same title for forever. The junior weight title is a smaller version of V4, and that's been around since
I
17 at
don't like
least.
this title.
All right, well, Mike's going to show it here. We're going to see it.
If this is the title you're talking about, I don't like this title. This title's ugly as fuck.
Well, that might be why they changed. Well, Anthony says he likes it. I don't remember it, or I wasn't watching, because I did not watch New Japan.
That's the
Well, that's the trio. That's one of the 3 trios in red.
no, the blue one is one of the trios.
Yeah,
Th-
that's
that's-
the never openweight champion right there, bro. That's the one. That's it. That's the V1.
These are the
Yeah, but-
trios.
That's one of the 3 trios. All have different colors. One is that's the red. I recognize it.
No, that's the open weight championship. That's
Yeah,
the
that's the
regular.
very first. Yeah, that's the very first one, dude.
Blue is the 6-man.
You know what it is, because Tanahashi's my favorite
Wrestler.
Japanese wrestler, and it's more a nostalgia thing for me. That was his
Is that
time.
Anthony? Is that the right one? That looks like the trios.
No, that's a
That's-
thing. I'm talking about the singles title.
okay, that is the Never 6-man. That's what I thought that was.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's damn it. Get off
Oh,
my-
that's
Well,
a single.
wait a minute. Maybe they modeled the Never 6-man after Tanahashi's Never title, and that's why we're confused.
Maybe it's this one. What about this one? Is this it?
Well, maybe they took that
I like
design
this.
to.
This one right here looks like something I would like. Kinda, maybe.
I'm thinking they took Tana's design and used that for the Never 6-man. That's what I'm thinking.
What about this time?
Yeah, no, that's the one I'm talking about. That's the one.
All right. Well, once he zooms in on it, we can see.
That's as far as it'll go.
You went backwards.
Dang, oh,
You had it closer and went backwards.
well, that's a different title, though. As I'm saying, it wouldn't let me. That's the closest I can get to this
Yeah.
title.
And did you guys like the version 1 of the hardcore title for WWF, with the first title that a guy like that Steve Blackman held?
The McFoley one, the original hardcore title with the busted up title.
It's
Yeah.
the busted up Golden Eagle.
Mike,
Yeah.
pull up the modern Never title.
All right.
You should be able to click on it from there.
Is the modern Never title the red strap with the?
Yes.
It's this one, ain't it?
The red dot on it, but it's been covered with gold things too, like evil.
That's it right here, ain't it?
I didn't think they had the red on the modern Never. That's the old one.
So there's this one, and then there's this one.
Yeah, that's the current one.
That is
No,
the current
no.
one?
That's
Yes.
2012 to present. Yes, sir. That's the present.
No,
one.
there was a picture. I'm talking about the red one. There's one with a red strap. Go back, real quick. The one in the middle between this one right there. That
This
one.
one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
a
a John
center belt.
Cena. Yeah, there's this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one with the white on the words was the V1 with Tana, and the one without the white on the words is that's why I never noticed. They're so
And
similar.
there's this one.
Yeah, that's the original Tana belt. Tana. Hashi
Okay.
belt.
That's pretty.
Was it the never open? Was it the open weight title or the never the?
Never, it was never open weight, and then then you have the never open weight 6-man, which is like three of the trios.
Was the
Whichever.
never open weight title the one that they transitioned to the big Haas fight title?
It's the strong style, kick the crap out of you, Suzuki, Ishii, Shingo for a little while. Yeah, like it's the tough guy, Todd. Like you're gonna brawl, Bolton or leg. It's that kind of belt.
And there's another belt that I honestly I can't find anywhere. I've been looking everywhere for the version 1 of the CMLL title.
Ooh, that might be. What year was that? CML's been around for over 100 years. So
I'm talking about the title that Mil Mascaras held, and
well, you could probably find pictures of him holding it.
So did you
Mike?
guys like that
I
WCCW
got
title?
this. I got this.
Did you guys like the heavyweight title, the World Class Championship Wrestling heavyweight title, the one
Wasn't
at the
bad. Wasn't bad. The WCCW for Texas, wasn't bad. No gripes.
well, did they just model half of those titles after the
That's it right here.
NWA
That's
title?
the original one.
What I think happened, Anthony, unless someone asked to model things after the NWA, is I think he only had one or two belt designers in the country back in the day, and they designed belts on how they knew how to design belts, and you could make little changes. But I think it comes down to having almost saying you have in the 60s, you had people build houses the same
Yeah.
way in the 70s. I think back in the day with less with belt makers, you if you got the same guy, you got kind of cousins of belts. That's what I think. Unless you pull a Tony Khan and you said, I want a belt to copy the North American what's the NWA title that they copied?
The
National championship.
The national. See that was a purposeful copy to try to look like it to pay homage. I think in the other direction, I think it comes down to if you have the same belt designer, you're gonna get similar stuff. That's how I feel about it, especially back then.
This right here looks like the original because that's what the original looked like. The new one don't have all this detail. It's just if you see the new one, the one that's held by
Claudio.
yeah, it's different.
Yeah, and I said it in the chat too. The what I wish they did with the AAA title was manufacture the patina and make it look rusted out, like rusted and faded out, kind of.
That
But-
wouldn't work in Mexico, buddy. They all about the Aztec
That's
style
the
and the
new one
gold.
here.
You gotta
That's the
bling.
new one.
You gotta bling. They're not gonna do faded down there, man.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no, I'm a history buff, and they used to do a lot of faded, like like where it looked war torn, like the jewelry was worn in war and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. That gold that was faded because they had
The thing is, Anthony, like I said, that title's been passed around. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
I always thought each wrestler got like a new belt or an issue a new strap or something like that.
No.
Like
Right.
no, they literally pass
Get the
around that belt. So
Yeah,
it's like
You
you
pass
got to
around
realize
that
that,
belt.
and they tour with it. I mean, they
Yeah,
throw it in their luggage, they throw it on the ground, they throw it
You
at the
pass
ref,
that-
they
you
hit
pass
each other
that
with
belt-
it.
You pass that belt around until it needs to be worked on, and every company's supposed to have a spare belt in case the belt gets stolen, lost, whatever. Modern day companies have a spare belt. They didn't
Yeah.
always, but how about that CMLL title? I think that looks kind of nice.
There's the new one. That's the new one.
I think it looks kind of nice.
I
like
like
it.
Kind of, you know what?
like
It kind of reminds me of the old WWF Intercontinental title.
By the way, Josh, I hate you.
What did I do?
The picture with Flammer, really?
yeah, yeah.
Well, no, that's not that. It's not with Lady Flame. It's the the other two.
My two bitches.
Wait. Are they thick? Do you feel? Do they look thick? Do they feel thicker and look thicker than
Yes,
Stephanie?
they're both thick. They're both thicker than her.
Than Stephanie,
Yeah.
really?
No, they're both thicker than Lady Flamer.
And
Yeah.
Steph.
Stephanie's smaller than all three. Stephanie McCord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
Yeah,
Oh,
look,
wait,
yeah.
thicker than Lola Vice? Thicker than Lola?
Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you need to look up. There's one of them that she's dummy thick. She's bigger than. She's like two of them together. She's hot as shit.
No, man. Yeah, she got a fat ass, man.
Oh,
Look at
she's
this
got-
right here. It even represents Argentina, Mexico, Japan, and USA.
Oh, Josh, did you guys ever collect any of the old the Onita titles?
Let me use the restroom. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
I was gonna say,
FMW was you dude. Just to get a VHS tape to watch FMW was a chore. If you didn't live in the right place or
Yeah.
know the right people or do tape trading, and we didn't have YouTube or no internet back then. Dude, FMW, you heard stories, and if you was lucky, you knew somebody that had one half-ass blurry tape you could watch.
I mean, I was lucky enough to get an RF subscription,
RF video.
RF video a subscription, because that was the way I found out more about ECW, but also other wrestling companies and everything, and I was able to get like some tapes. And I wish I would have kept them, man. I wish I would have kept them. It's like I lost them and moving around, but man, I had some nice good good tape trades right there, man.
Before GCW, ZZW, and ECW, what was the original hardcore promotion in the United States?
You didn't have one. You had Southern Wrestling, which would the old Southern Wrestling. You'd have dog collar matches and cage matches and blood. That was it, man.
Yeah.
Until ECW came in and it was like, we're gonna take what Japan and all them do and bring it over here. You didn't have a company like CCW and all that.
Yeah, not in America.
No.
Yeah, the closer you get was like all the southern the southern promotions.
The
NWA, yeah, mostly like NWA,
The original
Lawler's promotion,
FCW.
and WCCW.
Like you in Dusty's era, when they would go extreme and do stuff like that, and make it look real. That was as close as you got to extreme or hardcore or anything like that. Or they didn't have a such thing as the death match until Japan created that.
Yeah,
ECW never even called their matches death.
I mean,
match.
the hardest match I have ever seen, like, was back in the day, and you can look this up on YouTube, is Magnum TA versus Tully Blanchard. Man, you want to see two dudes beat the shit out of each other in a steel cage match, and it was a I Quit match.
Yep.
And man, it's like,
and
you guys like the version 1 of the spinner title for Cena when he first created the title, or
the
not?
US?
Really? The spinner title for the WWE title.
Yeah, the first one was a US title before he won the world one that spun.
Yeah. That's a pretty Lucha Underground heavyweight title right there. That's V2 right there.
On the Lucha?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cena did a US title that spun way before he won the world title when he was still rapping.
Yeah. And this is V1 here.
Do any of you guys have the original hardcore title from WWF with Steve Blackman?
No.
No, like I said, all you got to do is take the Wing Eagle and take a hammer to it.
Yeah, that was Mick Foley's title. Vince made it as a gift to him, and Foley acted like it was the greatest thing in the world. But that's how that title was introduced. That's why they used Foley to introduce that crappy 24/7 title that we all booed. That looks like a combination of a fruit roll up and a 24 and a Timex watch ripoff.
This right here is a beautiful title.
Which one is that?
This is right here.
That's that CCW title he loves.
CCW title. It's heavy, bro.
There's another title I like that people don't talk about a lot. The original FCW title, not the one from WWF when they
Florida Championship
Wrestling. The one that Dusty held.
Yeah, that's the good era of Florida Championship with Kevin Sullivan and all of them down there. Yeah, I don't like those bars on that title. What's up with those two bars on the left and the right?
Bars.
What they got two ice cream pops on the side.
Entertainment, dude.
They look like two ice cream pops, like the wood stick after you eat the ice cream.
They're light tubes, man.
Oh, that looks shitty. It looks like tacked on.
It ain't tacked on. It's made into the belt. You see,
it looks like the two handles on the front of my orange.
What'd you say there, Anthony?
Do you guys like the PGW PWG title?
The Pro Wrestling Guerrilla title? I love that.
Don't worry, I have no idea what that title looked like.
It's cool.
They were so underground. They were under the desert in California, and they're defunct.
Yeah, and there's the FTW title. Ooh.
which was damn near a copy of when they made Stone Cold his Smoking Skull belt.
That's a beautiful belt.
I like the Brahma Bull title too.
Yeah, that didn't last very long at all. I don't know why. They should have used that a little more, waste money on the Brahma Bull title, but
There's
I'll
that
tell you another
IWGP
good belt was the Lucha Underground belts.
See, it's weird. Austin and The Rock were the only ones during the Attitude
hey,
Era.
go back. Show Anthony that Spinner US title. That's Cena's original title.
This
That's the United States Spinner title before Cena held the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
hate
didn't
this
know
title.
about that.
I hated this freaking title.
Yeah, I didn't care for this. It looks better than the world title that spun. I hate those grooves that curve in and the shape of it with the.
For me, I don't like the version 1 because there was still kinks in it. I like the version 2 of that Spinner title for the US title for Cena.
That's the AWA World Heavyweight title right there. Look how pretty that is.
Yeah, Vern would have had a nice looking title though.
Look at that thing.
Vern Gagne definitely knows how to make good belts.
He knew how to make good talent too. Vince just stole them all.
Yeah.
How about I've been trying to find also World Wrestling Council title too.
Here's a Lawler belt.
Memphis Championship.
That's AWA.
Championship.
It's AWA when Lawler had it.
For its time, I don't hate on it. If that would be a title today, I would shit on it. The side plates are nicer than the main title.
I think the closest maybe in North America to that hardcore stuff that we talked about in Japan is I heard Puerto Rican matches get very violent.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's a hardcore match.
Well, they murder wrestlers out there. So
that means the crowd is willing to kill you, not the in-ring.
Yeah, this right here is the last induction of the AWA before they went under.
He had great side plates for the American Wrestling Association.
Is that Vern Gagne's promotion?
That's the last. That is the last heavyweight title that he got made right there. That's the last version of it.
I don't like the blue words over the front, but I guess they needed to put blue in. The blue words would throw me off. The rest
it looks better than the red. Looks better than the red.
I like the other title a little more.
Well, the other title, yeah, it was the first rendition, and then the Lawler one was silver. It went gold, silver, then blue.
I don't care for the blue words. They almost look like I edited a photo and just wrote on it.
There was a big promotion out of Georgia that had cool titles. I forgot. It was owned by Skandar.
Skandar Akbar?
Well, yeah. That's wild to me because at the time Jim Crockett was working out of Georgia. They owned.
Oh no, this was in the late '90s, early 2000s. It ended up being bought out by the not the NWA, the people who end up creating Southern Fried Championship Wrestling and stuff like that. Which is Bull Buchanan's promotion.
Look, there's a Mid-South tag team title right there. It has the Rebel flag in it.
What's your favorite version of the women's titles?
Ooh.
Oh, jeez.
Not too many good ones there for America.
I would say the original, the Burke, the original Burke.
Oh, okay, Mildred Burke.
No, honestly, I like the Wendy the title that what's her name threw in the trash.
I hated that title. It was so small and cheap looking.
Yeah, junk looked like it was.
Yeah, I hated that title. Looked like the cheapest thing on TV.
There's the Yeet belt.
That's so stupid.
I totally agree. It's so.
They had a Yeet belt, or
well,
right there.
Did Triple H respect the history of the business too much to have his own custom title like you saw with The Rock and Austin and stuff like that?
I think they gave up on that because they realized it was a waste of money and they barely used those titles for Austin and especially Rock. They barely used that Brahma Bull title.
Yeah, and there's the new TNA title right there, the new one. It's ugly as hell in my opinion.
TNA had one good-looking one of the main titles, and then they all looked like shit.
The original Knockouts title was kind of cool too.
Yes, I agree. The Knockouts title was cool.
I remember theirs looking better than the WWE women's.
There's so many titles out there, man. The USA Heavyweight Wrestling Championship belt.
Honestly,
but
for me, that's
That's a beautiful belt.
that's the title I want WWE to bring back and have that be like what's it called, the replacement for the US title, and that being like almost, you know how the X division in TNA used to do the option C, either you continue defending the title, relinquish it, or what is it called, or you relinquish it to move up to the heavyweight title.
The
and stuff like-
World Heavyweight Championship in WWE, the modern one with the big goal in the back, is with the smaller W is way better than the big W belt.
That one's I hate that one. The one with the W in the middle, the gold plate with the W in the.
It's better than the big W.
See, there's a Knockouts title. It's pretty too. I like it. It's pretty.
I wish that one would come up where The Rock first introduced the new titles before it turned to shit where it's got
Hey,
champion.
look, there's the Smoking Skull.
I have that one. Is that
Well, Smoking
mine?
And
Skull, I always
also,
like
I
the
like
Smoking
the-
Skull.
There's Undisputed. I liked it too.
Mine
and
has the WWE.
And another title I like from Japan is the original women's title from, I think it was Stardom or something like that, with Bull Nakano.
Oh, I wouldn't be Stardom. Stardom wouldn't have been a thing yet with Bull.
Stardom didn't show up till 2011, dude.
Yeah.
And look, there's the AEW International title, which is pretty.
Yeah, if anything knows about Stardom, anyone knows better about Stardom is Phil right there.
Yeah, no, who was the company she wrestled for in Japan? Like,
AJ,
Like-
it's
Probably AJPW, huh, Phil?
AJPW. It's All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling. That's what it was. Anthony, along with Bull Nakano wrestled along with. I also know about AJPW. That was the original. This is before Stardom. Also with Dump Matsumoto. She also who else was it? Manami Toyota. Let's see. Who else?
Was
Osborne.
The girl that showed up in AEW in the beginning, that's the whole time. She
Yep.
was like Freddie Mercury.
Manami
Oh.
Toyota. She was a lot of people consider her to be like the Hogan of women's wrestling.
or the, I'm not
remember
sure
when
if
she started.
the lady, the Japanese lady that they used as the final boss in WWE for like older, younger talent and stuff like that. I forgot. She ended up going back to Japan. I forgot her
That
name
was
now.
Bull Nakano. Did WWF, then went to WCW.
No, I'm talking about in NXT. They used a Japanese wrestler almost like a final, like the final boss thing before.
Asuka?
No,
You're
not
talking
Asuka.
about Jushin Liger.
No, she was a
You're talking
female
about-
wrestler, guys.
Anthony, you're
In
probably talking
NXT?
about Thunder. You're probably talking about Jushin Thunder Liger, where he wrestled Tyler Breeze at NXT.
No, he's talking about a female. Phil.
What
Not Nick.
Japanese female did they have before Asuka?
No, this was after Asuka went to the main roster. They brought in a Jap.
They brought in,
like,
they brought in what's her name?
Still
What's her name?
retiring.
I remember Io Sky.
No, there was one. I know what he's talking about. He's talking about version 2. He ain't talking about none of those. He's talking about the girl that came in and
Kyrie
something Toyota, not Toyota. It's what's his name's wife, and she retired out of WWE.
What's his name?
God, I forget his name, man.
Oh, what's her name? I know who you're talking about. She was the UK Women's Champion.
Yeah, but she was Japanese.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I
Yeah.
forgot she just retired.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
Hideo Tommy's wife or?
Wasn't
No,
Kenta.
that
It
was
wasn't
Minoru
Kenta's wife.
Suzuki's girlfriend.
That's
Oh, that makes sense. She would be that age. Yeah, I can't think of her name, but yeah, she's in her 50s
I'm gonna
now.
look up her- She also wrestled in WCW.
it. Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, when she was real young.
But
Back
that's
when
the Florida. That's your Florida Heavyweight Wrestling Championship from back in the '80s, right there.
That looks like what AEW tried to copy more than anything because it's got that elongated top and bottom, which I
like
really don't like.
I don't like it. It's ugly. That's an ugly title. It's an
The
ugly.
AEW
Yeah,
title
it's
tries
Miko
to have that
Satomura.
shit.
Her name's Miko
Yeah.
Satomura.
Yeah, Sakamura.
Satomura. Yeah, Miko Satomura. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Why do you think that, Mike? Why do you think that title is ugly? Like, do you not like the splash hippie colors?
That don't bother me, man. The hippie colors don't bother me,
The
man.
oval. The
Just the
oval.
oval shape, man. You know what it looks like? It looks like a smash penny.
Smash
I don't
Yeah.
like the AEW title because they tried to do that shape. It works the way New Japan built their title, but it doesn't work on the AEW title and modern titles. And the women's title, it looked really dumb. It's
Am I
just-
wrong though? I mean, does it not look like a smash penny?
yeah, it's what it looks like, but it's just the wrong way. I would turn it. I just don't like belts that with the long top and bottom, and it really makes no sense because you have to walk perfectly straight up or it cuts into you.
Yeah, fuck that title.
And to me, I feel
Here's
sometimes.
Here's the other one here. Now that one looks a lot better.
I like the silver lining of the words and the trim makes that
There's
makes
silver
that look.
lining.
There's a silver lining there, man. It's a silver lining.
Hey, that's what the AAA title's missing. You see how that trim matches nicely into the belt, whereas it's not like a big penny.
That's a pretty title there. That's a pretty title.
It is a good one,
Hey,
especially
Josh,
for being
actually
an oval.
search World Wrestling Council titles.
Josh ain't searching shit.
I'm the
But
one.
it's all
who's-
Mike.
Mike.
I ain't doing shit.
Look at that. That's an ugly title too. It looked like someone took a doo-doo on it. I'm sorry. I do not like this title. That's the NWA Florida title, though. That's the NWA title.
Do you guys feel that like these wrestling companies became cheap because they had to mass produce for like mass produce their titles to sell for people for merchandising and stuff like that?
No, you could make an expensive ass title that you have on your champion and make a $300 to $500 El Cheapo for the fans.
Yeah.
It doesn't have all the fan belt's not gonna have the jewels and the bedazzle. It's gonna be fake jewels in there. The real WWE title has jewels in it, and a few of the other companies, but you're not gonna get that in the fan belt. That's gonna be just cosmetic.
See, I like that one. The Continental title. I like that one.
I like the original Divas title with the butterfly around it, the one that Paige won, too.
I didn't like that one. It had too much going on. See, I like the Continental Classic title. I like it. That's pretty. That is a pretty title. That thing's expensive.
This is an honest question. Are these like these titles that WWE, AEW, or TNA use or New Japan use? Are they actually using real gold, or is it just brushed aluminum?
It's brass. It's brass. Polished brass.
They can't afford real to make those the tail.
They're so
If it's gold, it's gold plated. All right. Do you understand? It's like how much? If this was actually solid gold, do you know how much them titles would be worth? And people be trying to assassinate wrestlers just to get them titles and scrap it. The actual title belts, you'd be looking if it's aluminum with gold plating.
And there's the MJF belt.
The Triple B.
That's pretty. That's a pretty belt.
Is there a title you guys like that you wish got more respect? Like in terms of design.
Ooh, everything. I know.
Yeah, the New South. Because of the way it's designed and everything, it's a beautiful title. The original TNA title, not the NWA title. The original TNA title was pretty too. Y'all there?
I'm
Yeah,
here.
man.
Okay.
I was trying.
Cold
I was trying to look
outside, I'll say
the
that.
names of the female wrestlers that I took a picture with. La Hindra
La
and Lady
Hydra
Marvela.
and Lady Maravilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I speak better Spanish than Josh. He's Mexican.
You know what? I have a hard time saying Spanish names. Hell, I can't even pronounce my last name sometimes. Shit. I say it sometimes I say it white, sometimes I say it Spanish, man. So
you,
shit.
you sometimes you sound like a gringo, and sometimes like
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Like over the border, like orale. So like it's like I'd be like, well, what's your last name? Covarrubias. Then when someone's white asks me, what's your last name? Covarrubias.
Covarrubias.
my last name. Everybody just calls me Apple. My last name is Apple in Spanish.
Well,
Okay.
if you look at what I under my name, I put Red Cape Collections. Technically, that's what my last name means. Red Cape.
Japanese Apple stands for in Japanese Ringo.
And good night, Phil.
That's a Japanese name for Apple. It's Ringo.
Here's the best title ever, man. This title right here is the best title ever.
What is it?
That title right there.
That's a beautiful title.
It's a blank screen.
This title
the
right
sheep
here.
belt.
Ugh.
The sheep belt.
I can't see shit.
It's ugly. It's ugly as hell. That is the most
I love
ugliest
that
belt. You love this belt?
I don't.
Oh, okay, there we
that
go.
one. That was the first.
Yeah, that's the one that Iron Sheik had.
Yeah, that's the
That's
one
why I call it the
Hogan.
sheep belt.
Yeah, it's the one Hogan beat the Sheik for. That one's not that great. The four side plates throw it off. You know, if they were, I bet you if they wouldn't have been squares, it'd have looked better.
Yeah, the Bob. Let me see, the Sheik, Bob Backlund,
Bruno San Martino.
Bruno Sammartino, superstar Billy Graham, I think. Right?
Yes, talent.
What's his name? Gorgeous George.
No, it was what's his name? It was Nature Boy Buddy Rogers.
I was getting ready to say the original Nature Boy was the first WWF champ.
And there's Pedro Morales, Ivan Koloff, and Hulk Hogan.
See, and this is what makes me mad. No one talks about Pedro Morales a lot. Why?
He was popular as fuck in his day, bro. That's why they put the belt on him.
No, I'm saying when we talk about the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Well, none of the kids talk about Bruno, and Bruno was champ for like 9 years. So
shit, way longer than that.
His first.
Longer than that.
Yeah, way.
I'm pretty sure his longest title run, I'm pretty sure was within 9 years, but he held it more than once. His second title reign didn't, or the one after that when he had to come back didn't last that long. Was that his second reign that he went that long?
Yeah, I think the total title reign was like 20 years or something like that between both titles. I think close to 20 years. Because one was the second title was 5 years, and I think the first title reign was 9 years.
And that was around none. You like that belt? That is an ugly, ugly fucking belt.
No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the second one, the one that AJ wore, the white one.
The purple
I didn't care for. I know the one he's talking about. It looked better by a cut hair.
There you
go.
I'm sorry, but that belt sucks.
Yeah, dude, that belt's ugly. It looks like a mask got threw up on it and put on a belt. No, it's like it's something bedazzled.
And also, like I said, that title to me, the reason why it's one of my favorite women's titles is because it's more nostalgia to me because I grew up watching. I started watching wrestling because of people like AJ and Paige, women's wrestling specifically.
Okay. But then,
It's like for you, Mike, you have certain nostalgia titles that you like.
yeah, I do. I have nostalgia titles, but my titles had to do with like basically I touched them, and and I actually got to hold them and give them out to the actual wrestlers who won them and stuff. So yeah, that's the reason why I have sentimental value and nostalgia for that reason.
You know, and it just gets me thinking is like, I don't know if I want to touch a title after watching how Paige used to treat her titles.
Oh,
I remember this title. I remember this title.
If you know, you know.
yeah.
Oh God.
I'll leave it at that.
What about that title right there, the CM Punk Spinner title?
Well, you
and
never
I
actually
kind of
used it.
and I kind of feel bad for Paige. I think those guys took advantage of her because she was still a teenager.
No, she
No,
wasn't underage, dude.
She was of age.
No,
Yeah.
she
No,
was
she was
19. No, I'm saying, well, when that video came out, I think she was like 19 or 18 or 19.
No, she was in her 20s, dude.
Yeah, she
I
was like,
want to
yeah,
say
she was
she
early
was
20s.
closer to 23.
yeah.
Paige is wild, dude, and she comes from the UK. Like sex ain't nothing to them, dude. Paige was all turned on when Scott Hall said if he could fuck one modern day diva, it would be her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you should see this tweet about it. It was funny as shit.
She's
I
all
laughed
up for
at
it.
Kyle's comment. It was hilarious.
What is
I
that?
watched the interview where they told Scott Hall, and he was like, "Oh shit, how do I get in touch with her?"
I want. Oh, now that is nice. This, I actually have to say,
This is
I
what
fucking dig this title. I dig this title.
What
I
is
don't
that?
care. It's a title that I actually like.
What is?
Manchester United.
Hell yeah.
Hold on, I don't. I've never seen this before. What is this?
That's
fan
soccer.
they built of Manchester
Yeah, no,
United.
no, and it's like titles that WWE does for like these teams that win championships.
Oh, now that it's on the screen, I can tell because three of y'all were talking at one time. Yeah, they do. WWE does titles that they give to like all teams and all of. They do that. They give like they'll give a title to the World Series winners or the NFL. They do
Unless
that.
you're the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
This right
That
here's a
would be
Premier
funny.
League. This right here is a Premier League title.
I
Yeah,
don't think anybody.
that's some petty shit.
I don't
I
think-
would say I'm gonna say that was some petty shit that they refused to release right when they released all the NFL titles. They said the Jacksonville Jaguars title is sold out.
Yeah.
That was a bullshit lie.
What a punch! What a punch! They Triple H and all they do is fuck with Tony Khan because they know, man. But Jacksonville ain't winning no Super Bowl in no time soon in 10, 15, 20 years. We
Yeah,
know that.
no, and to be honest, it's easy to poke at Tony because the guy acts like a man-child.
Mhm.
Let's be honest, the guy's a man-child.
Yeah, remember
Like-
everybody. Time Cop, my favorite movie. It's just like Time Cop. Oh. Tony Khan.
Yeah, he got in a massive argument with what's his Jim Cornette for calling him, like, making fun of him during his interview with Ariel Helwani.
Yep.
Tony
No.
gets too sensitive, and I agree
Tony
with.
has never had to face adversity in his life. His family was rich. He had his own sandbox to play in. Like the dude's like and he's trying to get cool with all the media people right now to push his company because it's not doing
He's
well.
doing
I
a
mean,
lot better than he did a long time ago. He knows to stay off social media now.
Well, everybody, okay, I'm gonna say this, and like, I don't know why everybody's saying that AEW is not doing well. I believe that one, AEW is doing a lot better than it was in the past couple has now is doing a lot better than what he was doing in the past couple of years.
that's the in-ring product, what you watch on TV, Josh, not the numbers.
Yeah,
I
they're
like
not
that.
doing well in terms of, like, they've had to. severely actually downgrade the size of the arenas they use
Yes.
for their live shows and stuff like that. They
Yep.
only use like arenas that are 95 to 10,000 seats
And
now.
then they block off a half of that to a quarter that to run the shows to put 5,000 or less in them. Yeah, the money doesn't come from live gates and it's not rock and roll. Money don't come from the live gate and selling t-shirts. Money comes from your TV deals and your ads. That's where money comes from if you're a television pro wrestling company. If you're an indie, you want to try to pack people into place and get them to buy your merch. If you're a WWE or AEW or anybody like that and you have television, you want the most money you can get for your TV deal, then you want the ad revenue. That's what you want. We just talked about all that last night. WWE for a SmackDown, a 3-hour SmackDown, they clear over $1 million every hour. That's over $3 million just off of commercials. That's not the live gate. That's not a TV deal. That's none of that. AEW just made $1 million from their live gate for Revolution. That's 1/4 of MJF's current contract. That's it. That's not even You're not even paying his whole contract. You have other people on the show in the roster, and you got to try to stream. You have to sell merch. You have to do all that. Tony Khan pays so outrageous for his talent. He's not make. He's not. It looks like income, but he's actually paying everything he makes back. That's the problem.
He's buying his own tickets.
Well, he's actually papering the houses that don't sell out. There's been reports that they go on the street and they 2 for 1 and handing out tickets to finish filling places. That's what he's having to
I'm
do.
gonna use a comparison. He's like Al Heyman in boxing. Has a tendency to, but him and Bob Arum used like always bought out their own like
Yeah.
and like sold them third market, like what is it called, on the secondary market for like a ridiculous more expensive. I think that's what Tony's gonna have to do because he doesn't really sell the tickets.
They're not in trouble right now. I said that on the podcast. AEW is not going anywhere anytime soon. But the next big hurdle for AEW is it's not even to do with streaming. They'll be fine wherever they go. They'll get people to buy their streaming.
Don't they have their own website now, like myaew.com or something?
That's only for overseas. We found out he has no plans to bring that here. It's going to come down to their television deal next time. Also, if how much Paramount's into them, but it's going to come down to their TV deal and if he's going to get lowball. He already took money that less than he wanted to take for his current deal. He thinks the company's worth more. About it's like, no, you're not. If they have to leave the Turner Network, he's going to have to go to a smaller channel. He's going to get way less. He's going to be in way less homes and less advertising. It's going to hurt AEW's pocketbook.
Like how TNA was before they got like the AMC deal. They were like on some crappy channel called Access TV. Remember that?
Yeah, or the hunting. They were on the hunting channel. After they left, and believe it or not, Spike was not a major network. They were doing good on Spike, but that's not a major network. They weren't under millions and millions of dollar deal. Not at all.
How did WWE? No. This is an honest question. How did WWE do so? Like after WWE left, it seems like Spike TV after that was horrible with like how they produced wrestling stuff.
What do you mean? The network itself?
Yeah, because when they got TNA.
Well, here's what you got to look at. WWE owns their own production company, okay? So they own all the TV crew. When New Japan comes to America, they have to rent and they have to get their hands on a crew if they're not partnering with anybody. Tony Khan has to have a crew he hires. It could be a regular crew, but he doesn't own a TV. He doesn't get to use like back in the day, like Turner with Ted Turner would send over his TV crew to help film WCW, which saved money. But going live, that was $1 million a pop. That's why Vince in the early days of Raw could not go live. Then he was like, well, we'll do every other week. And they were killing him financially because he couldn't afford it until they got more popular and they built themselves up in attitude, and then they could go live every week. That was a huge advantage for WCW. When these other wrestling companies come smaller than if it's on TV or it's streamed, You got to hire random Joe Blows that are supposed to be professional and get them to film your shit. WWE owns their own production.
TNA is doing filming instead of going live.
Yeah, that's to save money. And the other thing is, if TNA is not getting a helping hand from WWE, they have to find their own production or their own people. They have to hire every single show. None of those companies are big enough to own their own lights, camera plus crew. WWE does.
Wasn't NXT pre-taped before they went to like USA Network and
I'm sure it
CW?
probably was, but that's still part of when they were in Full Sail. That was a dedicated crew hired there to work and do that filming. You're gonna get that, just like you never see a cameraman, you don't see wires. That's a Vince started that and created that with Titan Sports, and they keep doing that. I rather see the real shit myself, but it's all made to look more like a movie and professionally shot than camera shaking and at a wrestling match. I rather see a little bit of the real deal, like New Japan or ECW. You see the ring shake from the hits when people would take bumps on the ring. You see the camera shake if the guy was in the right place. I like that.
And like I've said this, I'm a fan of AEW, but I have a sinking feeling. I know Tony has the money, but I feel this company's going to end up becoming like almost sort of like not WCW, but
TNA?
No, ECW, where Paul basically couldn't find a TV deal or something like that, and he couldn't find the money because
that comes from ad revenue. The ECW was too violent to get sponsors for TNN.
Yeah,
and
that was the thing about ECW. They couldn't get sponsors.
Right, and
AEW got sponsors.
TNN refused to rep the show or advertise it because they were like, "This is worthless. We have nothing to advertise there. We can't show half this." So that's why they had the huge battle with TNN, and Paul was legit mad at them. They wouldn't do anything to promote the show, but Paul couldn't get any. The only sponsor ECW ever had was Acclaim because they made the 2 video games, and Acclaim today is out of business. The rights are owned by somebody else.
Didn't Acclaim get bought out by like EA or something like that? I thought.
I'm not sure how it went, but they did. There was some kind of buyout, but somebody still owns the rights to the name in a way. But it's kind of the same thing. Like AEW's problem, I don't know which one, but the problem is going to come down to when Tony Khan grows up and realizes he's only got so much money to spend, and he doesn't put enough of it back in his. He's still taking out of pocket. Even with all the revenue he makes, he keeps buying more toys, more wrestlers, and overpaying. $5,000 for somebody when you're a startup company, you only been around 5 to 7 years, is a lot of money for one talent that isn't Hulk Hogan or Saving or Austin levels of saving your company, getting people that don't even watch wrestling to watch your show. And that's where it's gonna come down to the TV deal.
Yeah, and this is what pisses me off too, guys. Like, there's a double standard. The wrestling ICW and the wrestling analyst say that WWE has a bloated roster, but they overlook the same bullshit with AEW.
WWE's roster is less bloated than AEW's.
Yeah, well, but here's the thing. No, I think WWE's roster is big, but they don't use anybody. Now with AEW, they use everybody. They put like 6-man tags. They put fours.
But
they try to use as many wrestlers as they can.
Johnny Wrestling just bitched about that. They're saying that they're calling it Guantanamo Bay because there's so many people not being used because of no television time. Somebody had released the numbers. Tony Khan had over 120 active wrestlers last year, a year and a half. WWE was like 80 and under. That's a big difference.
But are they counting NXT talent as well?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That's a big fucking. I mean,
because if you're counting 120 wrestlers, you got to think about you got AEW, then you have Ring of Honor. Now, if you're talking about 80 altogether, I know, for example, 60 people are on SmackDown alone. I know that 60 are on Raw alone. That's 120, and then you got other people in NXT.
You guys
That's
are
in
cool,
my- that's
right?
in twen-
Guys,
wait.
'cause we gotta, guys, I gotta get ready. I gotta take care of some things in the morning.
All right.
All right, well,
Yeah, I was about to
you don't
say
get to
it's,
see
yeah,
the
it's
cool.
1 o'clock in the morning, so
Yeah.
You don't get to see the cool shit I'm gonna show tonight, Phil, because it's almost no records.
All
All right, let's show it.
All right. Before I take this down, what do y'all think about this title?
what is
Not bad.
It looks like somebody ran over it.
It's a Juggalo
it?
Championship.
Juggalo Championship.
It looks like it's got tire treads all over it.
That's
These
the
right
point.
here are axes, man. See, these are axes.
It's the Fagle truck.
It looks like the Fago truck ran over it and backed over it again.
Y'all are
Yeah.
haters. I
Yeah.
hate you guys.
How long before, guys? How long before Vince Russo screws up the Juggalo championship booking and stuff like that?
You know, he's really not in charge of that. That's
Yeah.
It-
He's
it-
not, I don't think he can screw it up because, dude, when you could put yourself as Vince Russo and Big Vito in 3 segments on television, you can't get any lower than that.
yeah.
When you could put
And do
60
you guys
old
think
people.
Vince gets hatred, way too much hatred?
No, not for what he did in WCW, and he did not create the Attitude Era. He put up ideas and Vince filtered them. That's why it worked. Vince used his ideas, but did not use them fully. In WCW, he absolutely creatively bankrupt, throw anything at the wall and see if it sticks.
Yep.
That's why they rehired Bischoff. They rehired Bischoff to oversee Russo as a filter. That's actually what they did when they brought him back. They hired Bischoff, told Russo yes or no. That's where the whole Hogan Jarrett thing happened, where Hogan laid down, Jarrett laid down and walked away. Russo went into business for himself. When Bischoff and Hogan come off the plane, they were like, "What the fuck?" Everybody called them.
So
And,
Russo didn't even listen to Dusty when he was there, because Dusty had enough power. I thought.
Dusty was not in backstage power when Russo came in.
Dusty was
Dusty
gone.
Nobody was.
He was a
Dusty
DW.
Dusty came back to WCW after ECW, but yeah, when Bischoff rolled out, Dusty didn't have much. Dusty was still backstage, but he didn't have as much power as he once did. When Russo came in, there was no Dusty. Now he would come out on screen with him and Dustin and Terry Funk and or Flair in '99 or 2000. That was it. Dusty was no longer calling the shots, and when they pulled Kevin Sullivan off the booking after the Benoit and all them rolled out, trying other people, everything really went to shit.
Yeah. But this is how we're going to do this tonight, gentlemen. We can't do that. Josh,
No,
you got
we
some
can't.
show?
Yeah, I got some stuff.
All right, who's going first?
If Phil has something to show, let him go.
I'm really good.
Okay,
Josh,
Josh. Mike, you have nothing to show?
I can show my nuts.
No,
Yeah.
thank you. We don't want that.
No. There's a family show.
Yeah.
John, Mike, we don't need that. We don't
okay,
need those
okay.
hairy nuts.
What does everybody
How you
want?
know Harry? How you
What
know
does
Harry?
everybody want? And for Al
No.
Snow, what does everybody want? Not Mike's nuts.
Oh, come on, man. It'd be great. Anyway, here we go.
Go, Josh.
All right, here I'm gonna try to go as fast as I can because I want to go to sleep. Right now I got
Slayer.
Slayer.
Cool.
This
Is that a single?
45. It's got 2 songs on it. When the Stillness Comes and Black Magic Live.
Oh, okay.
So that's my 45. I picked up for I picked this up for like $12. So another 45 I picked up.
Came from around the era of World Painted Blood almost. What we got here?
Testament 45. It's got
What? How did I miss this?
Blood.
Yeah, they had a shitload of them, man. You missed out on it. It's got Native Blood and Strange Naive.
Whatever.
I guess.
Well, it's the Native Blood single. It's from the 2012 album, which is terrific. I think everybody should go check it out. The what was Dark Roots of the Earth?
Yep. Picked it up for like $12.
Yeah.
And finally, a tape I've been hunting for.
Fate No More.
Faith No
That's
More. Oh, the real thing. Very hard to find on vinyl. And if you do find it on vinyl, it is really expensive.
It was that era, bro. It was the dead era of vinyl.
Actually,
Yeah.
PC on vinyl is fucking expensive, bro.
All right. Next up, I got Sabaton.
Sabaton.
This is actually a really cool band. Take good God, what's the name of that band? God, they're all muscular men on the fucking cover right now.
Is
Manowar.
it Mushroom Head?
Manowar.
Manowar. Take Manowar and put it in. Make it like seaworthy battles.
Okay. We have to criticize one guy in Manowar. He's a convicted child pedo, and fuck him.
Yeah, well, one of them. Well, Manowar's been through like 15 different members. So
Technically, one of the old Priest drummers did the same shit and got caught with a bunch of stuff on his computer.
all right, next up, I got Eddie and the Cruiser soundtrack.
Eddie and the fucking Cruises. You a hardcore maniac.
Hey, you know what? It's actually not a bad soundtrack, man.
You maniac.
That's a good movie.
What's next? Burst of Coldplay?
Ooh.
This one I picked up at a local shop. True Blood soundtrack.
Wow, that's terrible, Josh.
I like the show. I like the show.
I don't feel so bad for my flock of seagulls no more.
Yeah, I do. I feel horrible for you.
All right, now going to like movies right here. I picked this up. I remember seeing this,
The Terror.
The Terror Within, and it's actually a really good horror movie. Basically, it's all post-apocalyptic stuff.
Is that a Criterion picture?
Basically, it's these mutated beasts are capturing women and raping them and to reproduce.
All right. Well, we want to know the real question, Josh. Was that a Criterion movie? Who was the company? That's how we're gonna know.
Oh, who's the company?
Yeah, read the back. Who's the company?
Trauma. You can't read, man. You know that. He ain't got
New
pictures.
Concordia?
Say it again.
New Concordia?
New Concordia?
Yeah.
Okay, the company makes me decide if I'm gonna watch a B horror movie or not. Because some of them.
No, it's worth it. It's a good movie.
Okay, I'll check that out for $1. Phil.
All right.
All right, and I picked these up. Animated Mortal Kombat movies.
That's a good one.
I was gonna say Phil. If Phil don't own it, he's gonna go visit you and steal it.
Yep. And there's a couple of them.
Yeah, you got
Snowblind and Johnny Cage one.
Man, they made a bunch of Mortal Kombat animations, huh?
There's 4 of them. This is
So take it in order. I've only ever seen the first one, and it was good.
You got
and then finally, I picked these up. I'm a huge Transformer fan.
Yeah, we know.
More than meets the eye.
I got Cup
KDP.
and Springer.
I was hoping to see Soundwave in the tape.
I got Soundwave.
I like the tape with the bird. That was the evil dude, no, wasn't it?
I do got the bird. So that's Laserbeak. I'm trying to find both.
Yeah, I like me some Laserbeak. Damn it.
Is that everything?
All right, that's it. That's all I got.
Good.
All right, here we go. We've got an assortment of shit. We're gonna start with some metal memorabilia for your apparel. So we got some patches that we're gonna go. So first of all, we got
Where can I see it?
Black Sabbath, which I already have a big back patch on the bottom and one on the front. So Sabbath's gonna be on my jacket 3 times. Then we got this.
No sound.
We got the Scorpions.
I got no picture.
Hold on. Time out.
Mike fucked it up again.
How did I fuck up?
I don't know. Josh, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I can't see you.
Can you see anybody now?
I can see all you guys.
Yeah, me
But
too.
I can see everybody.
Well, I
Josh, you're
see
shit.
Mike. I see Phil. I see myself. I don't see Jordan for some reason. It's a
That's
blank
something on
screen.
your end, dude. I could see we all could see. Phil looks like he just froze. Oh no, that's his head down. My bad.
That's his normal position.
Josh, can you see us?
I can see everybody but you.
All right, hold on. Let me fix that. How about now?
Right. Mike hit the wrong button.
How about that?
No.
Go to me in and out again. Like zoom me in and bring me out again. Maybe it'll fix it. That ain't gonna help, Mike. Josh, can you see me?
No. And for some reason, like I see Mike. I see Phil. But for some reason, your screen's blank.
Hold on, let me see.
I don't know if it's on my end or if it's.
Yeah, it's your end. That's
Yeah,
gotta be
because
on your
we could
end.
see everybody.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, it's like it's already 1:00 in the morning. I would show my shit off.
Wait a minute. He's gonna fix it. He's gonna fix it. You got to see some of this shit, Josh. This is crazy shit tonight.
No.
It won't be long.
I can't fix it. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
What about
here,
if I
let
go
me-
out and come back in?
Wait, hold
Well,
on.
I'm gonna go out and come back in real quick.
I can't change.
There we go. Now I see you.
All right, we're good. You can get rid of my old square, I guess. All right. Whenever Mike zooms in, I'll show you what
Give
you
me a
missed.
second. I got this. Just give me a second.
You
I
don't
can't
got this. I got out and got in, and like, now y'all are all gone. Look at that. Everybody's gone. All right, there we go. Can everybody see me?
Yes, I can see you now.
All right, we had a Black Sabbath patch,
There we
Yeah.
go.
right?
Nice.
And we got Scorpions Blackout.
I like that.
Yep.
That's pretty.
Nice.
And we got You Can't End Without a Little Bit of Sad Wings of Destiny.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, those are all going on my cut. Then I had to buy a CD. If ever you see this on vinyl or CD, you need to get it, Josh. I knew this album because it's played in the bar. It's a double. Let me see. He better have. I didn't even check. Motherfucker. He's missing a disc. It's supposed to be 2 discs. Son of a bitch. Fucking Chad. Anyway, I'm gonna have to tell him about that. But that's fucked up. It's it was Overkill live from to 95, 85 to 95. It's a brutal set. If ever you see this, get it. But I'm gonna have to tell them that I'm missing
Yeah.
a whole fucking idiots. I got disc 2 and disc 1 in motherfucker.
Damn.
That's disappointing.
I got a huge overkill collection coming.
Yeah, but that live show, that's the live Overkill you want. Then we got this right here. This will blow your mind. Y'all ready for this?
Well, it came in.
What is it?
Huh?
It came in finally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it came in.
Cassette tape. It's got a cassette tape in it without being open.
Yeah,
The survival sampler.
it's
but
sealed
it-
with a cassette tape in it.
What band?
It's
Several
a bunch of bands like it's 80s like new wave shit, but this thing open goes for like 60, 70, 80 bucks. Seal goes for over 100. I talked him down to 50.
Damn.
Yeah, he got it for $50. I was there when he got that. That thing.
Yeah. But you see, when you have something like this, you need some help from somebody like this.
King.
The diamond. I see when you got that one.
Let me help you out of your can.
Grandma.
Yeah, I got that for $8. So the box is fucked up, but oh well, I'll do something with him. We'll let King fight the can. And then let's show this right here. You're
You
gonna
got
like
that
it.
king on top of the light. That'd be cool.
Josh, I talked him down to $22 for this. Are you ready for this? This is recorded in August 16th, 1980. This is a gold stamp promo. This is OG. This is 1980 Castle Donington, and look at the bands.
Ooh.
You got Rainbow Scorpions, April Wine, Saxon, Riot, and Touch.
Oh man. You know what? I was gonna fight for that one, and I saw your name go up. I was like, "Oh damn, he's getting it."
Sit down, motherfucker. Sit down.
Uh,
How I do that when I buy shit. Sit down. And then we get this right here, which I have never had one of these before, so I'm kind of excited about it. But you ready for this? Oops, it's a little dusty. Let's dust that off right here. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I've got to give it a good cleaning. But you ready for this?
Yep.
This is an EP.
Ooh.
oh man,
The
the
Sword.
sword. Oh,
Yeah, Mike ruined it last night, but it's all like in this hexagonal shape. It's 2 songs, but I had never seen it, and I saw some going for kind of high in mid shape, so I grabbed it. I got it for I really only paid 22 for this. I could have swore I paid more. No, I paid 38 for this, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's one of those. It's in this thing, and you put it and you spin it, and it's like a stop sign of death. But yeah, good stoner metal right there.
what was it? Yesterday, I think a bunch of sword albums went up for sale.
Earlier tonight, I saw an Electric Wizard fucking Dope Throne on an auction, and I was like, "Motherfucker!" I said, "I was good to see some not Dope Throne. Electric Wizard went up. Dope Throne the album. I was like, good to see some of that." But that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. We good. That's enough for tonight. You got plenty more albums to show as we go through the weeks.
I'm gonna show some more comic books next week. So
Awesome. Ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen,
Phil, when you get a chance, DM me some Wolverine books that you need. I'll
All
look
right.
through my stuff.
okay,
also, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not watching Ringside Rants,
you're doing life wrong, brother.
and we're not just food to eat, ladies and gentlemen.
Food for the ears, baby.
That's right. And it could be King Diamond. It could be a tape in a can. But just remember, don't matter how much they cost. I collect, but what's mine is mine. What's yours? It'll be mine too.
Just like the $12 I just paid you back for.